and welcome to GeekSpaceTV. It is wonderful to have all of you here with us this evening. I just want you to know that they've officially named their table.
No, it's not accurate. No.
I'm sorry. I'm taking the first answer that you gave me, which is Top-a-Doodle-Doo.
No, that was the third.
I win.
That's not accurate.
Oh no.
So we have Team Top-a-Doodle-Doo and Team Powerbottom here tonight for our non-competitive RPG that we will be playing.
We'll see about that.
I mean, we roll against each other like with some regularity.
Oh, I don't
You're not
Do I have
wrong.
a character
You're not
sheet?
wrong in that. Do you have a character sheet?
You don't
Excellent
need
question.
one of those. You're good.
Nope. This isn't one.
If you are just joining us today, hello, you're watching GeekSpaceTV. We are a nonprofit broadcasting studio in the Seattle area, and our mission is to promote and increase diversity and inclusion within gaming and geek spaces. And tonight we will be playing Leviathan Distant Stars, a space opera-style RPG using a homebrew system of the Stars Without Number game. And I'm very excited. It's nothing terrible happened to them last time.
I don't remember anything terrible.
That's fine. We'll recap it. So,
I feel kind of like
and
I
nothing
blacked out.
terrible will come out. Yeah, Ziana had some feelings that she had to process in her bunk.
Oh, I found it.
Aw.
It was with the. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Is that next to the just stop talking about?
Oh, this is the old one.
It's all right. Kiki can just be 2 levels lower than everyone else.
That'll be fine. Though she doesn't need those extra hit points today at all. Can you mute Claudia's mic maybe while she's doing this?
Sorry, I realized that was really close to the mic. I apologize. I don't know what's happening to me.
So, hello and
sphincters.
welcome
I
in.
remember
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get to it. A few quick announcements and reminders for you. As always, we have a Patreon if you'd like to check that out to set up a monthly recurring donation. We are truly appreciative of it. We've got some pretty sweet rewards. We've got cool Instax pictures that we're taking now, so you can get a hold of some sweet things. There will be some revamping happening to the Patreon as well, but your pledges are truly appreciated. If you would like to directly donate, you can do so. I'll be reading out those donations at our break and at the end of our show. One quick thing for tonight, we're obviously here, but we will, good, you found it. We will be wrapping up slightly earlier than normal tonight, so don't be alarmed when that happens, because we're going to go watch explosions in the sky, probably intentional ones.
Watching wizards fight each other.
Fighting wizards across the Great Lakes.
So that's just a heads up for tonight. After that, we will be back to schedule as normal. Other information about our scheduling, on Friday we have Eat, Pray, Kill coming up, and that is our Powered by the Apocalypse hack Broken Worlds by Orbital, the writer of Kill 6 Billion Demons. I gave you more information than I meant to, but it involves demons and people who have questionable morality. It's a lot of fun and really great on-point makeup. So, and then Monday night we have Aloft, which is our Dungeons and Dragons show. It is a post-apocalyptic world setting? Post-atomic romance. Post-atomic romance with airships / dirigibles. And today our announcement was that Behind the Screens is going to be on break hiatus for a while until our next season ramps up again, as we work towards things including a upcoming hopeful crowdfunding campaign on Seed and Spark. And I think that is pretty much everything for tonight. So with that, let's quickly reintroduce our players, starting with the one who just tried to eat something.
Wait, while he talks, can I eat something?
D20.
Yeah. And then we'll recap what happened last time.
Hi, I'm Dan Poslins. I'm at Dan Poslins on Twitter. And tonight I will be playing Lieutenant Conrad Carls Jr., who is a recent graduate of the ICA Military Academy, and also recently presumed dead, and also recently been through a lot of kind of crazy stuff in his adventures to rejoin the crew of the Leviathan.
He has 0 to an infinite number of new cybernetic features.
Definitely that range accurately describes.
That's right. I remember that.
All right.
I do not have any cybernetic features, not in real life, and not my character either. I'm BlueJay. You can find me on twitch.tv/BlueJay or on Twitter at BlueJay_712. I play Rachel Lucas, who is a bounty hunter kind of merchant lady, kinda likes guns, kinda. I don't know. She's also not psionic at all. It's fine.
0% psionic.
Everything's fine.
You have a page for that. Who are you?
Which
With
one of
me?
us?
Yes,
Okay,
you. The
me.
one I
Hello.
am trying to make eye contact with
Hello.
as she glances away.
Hello. I am Lizzie the Bold. You can find me at Lizzie the Bold on the Twitches and the Twitters. I am a part-time streamer, full-time heartbreaker. Thanks
Oh.
for that one. And I am playing Ziana Rendrathi Taldraxisto, who is the captain of the Batleth, ostensibly the leader of this crew sometimes when they listen, and also a feeler of feelings that she cannot deal with at all because she has very low emotional IQ. And that's me. And also giant and red and a warrior and kind of lizardy.
Princess.
And I'm
Warrior princess.
Princess.
You've let us know.
oh, and also she's a princess, sort of.
From
Ziana,
another
warrior
race.
From
princess.
another race.
Giant lizard-like.
Yeah, lizard warrior ladies.
Strong ladies.
It's pretty awesome. All right, it's cool. Who are you?
Hi, my name's Claudia, but on Twitch and Twitter, I go by Jackie Dash. JAKIDASH. Excellent job. Today, for this episode of Geek Space, Leviathan Distant Star, I will be playing Kika. And Kika's our baddie space engineer. You know, if it's not broken, probably needs to be fixed. She is a
Oh, that's
meter
accurate.
tall.
Yeah.
She is mostly blind, but can echolocate. And she's getting into some shenanigans in the main hallway of the Batleth, the ship that we ride.
I'll recap what happened last
No,
time.
yeah.
And Random Tuesday, I will be your GM for this evening. Last time, on Leviathan Distant Stars, the crew of the Batleth began their journey into a distant sector of the Milky Way galaxy, a place from which they had discovered a monstrous race of living ships that were also slightly cybernetic. It's a long story, involving poorly thought out experiments and maybe things that people shouldn't do again, but they can't because they were all destroyed. But now, this monstrous race is coming to the sector of the galaxy that we happen to inhabit, and the crew of the Batleth have taken it upon themselves with one of the remaining members of the non-corrupted version of these Leviathans to attempt to find some sort of tool, some sort of resource to protect the rest of the galaxy from this, as ICA, the Intergalactic Civilizations Alliance, the large ruling force within the galaxy, pretty much said, not our problem, and closed their borders and figured that might stop this alien species.
Not in our space.
So,
Screw those
after
people.
misadventures and adventures and other choices that were made, the crew is now heading into this distant sector of space with the goal to get to the lab at which Sarin, the living ship that they are on, was essentially born. They unfortunately had a slight hiccup on the way there. There was a catastrophic, what was the words that I had? Dimensional energy spike resulting in, yeah, I know, look at those words.
CDES.
Yes, CDES. CDES.
CDES.
A CDES, forcing the ship
Right,
to
old
leave
CDES.
thread space and damaging some of the systems on board.
Oh, yeah!
Something that happens in living beings when there is, say, a foreign entity inside their body that they want no longer inside their body, is that they have often what is referred to as an immunoresponse. And unfortunately, large living ships are not immune from the immunoresponse. And, well, with some malfunctioning systems, Sarin is not able to correctly detect whether or not people are supposed to be there. And so there is some risk that a version of the immunoresponse will kick in as they as they head into the two areas that were damaged in order to repair them, in order to continue on their journey into the distant sector of space. Now, obviously, during this downtime, zero feelings were discussed. There was absolutely no emotional problems to be had. Ziana received a call from Hexy that she responded to in her bunk. And there was possibly no discussion of this outside of her bunk.
No, none.
But Hexie is not with the crew currently. Rachel discovered the hydroponics portion of Serin and was very good at growing mushrooms.
Oh,
Or internal gut flora.
And I got a pet.
Sure. Conrad learned that there are living organisms aboard Serin that function essentially much in the same way that bacteria and other organisms function within our bodies to provide functions for us.
Did you befriend a parasite?
He befriended
not a
a
parasite.
cleaning. He befriended a biological Roomba.
Okay, but is it a part of Serin, or is it like one of those like benevolent parasite things?
It's like a it's a benevolent parasite.
Yeah. You befriended a parasite.
It's not a parasite.
Symbiote.
It's a
Take that back.
symbiotic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a symbiotic relationship. It feeds off of like dead cells and refuse, and leaves behind a slime that evaporates and provides a disinfectant.
Yeah.
I like this.
I
It's
call
also
him-
slightly caustic and burns flesh slightly
I
if
can
you
see
get
where the two of you bonded.
I called him Slurpee.
because it made this noise.
Yeah. Ooh, God. Ooh. Okay. All right. It's not pleasant. Let's
It's
not
okay.
do
It only
that
got worse.
I'm so sad I wasn't here for
Kika
that.
began a project, and
did.
currently inside the main, in fact, only hallway in the Batleth, there is a sort of elaborate structure going around the edges. She essentially stripped off all of the piping and
The Kika
kind of
piping.
the Kika piping, the rails that she puts up, and converted those into what looks like a kind of a beautiful ring.
Yeah, but so you still grab it, but it's just
Yeah.
not. It's like a little hop, like you had to take a step. Like that's how Kikat's go.
Wait. It's just one ring at one end of the hallway.
Yeah, yeah, near the cockpit.
Some of the climbing rigging is still there, but there's a clear section that is missing all of this rigging that has now been converted into a ring.
Is it blocking passage through the hallway?
It just goes around.
Yep. Instead of having the cool
It's a Stargate.
instead of having the cool chain wire fence that is above the top of the hallway, as you have given permission for, there is now just a perfect ring right around the door. It's like 2 inches lower than the height of the door. No, sorry.
I have
Ceiling,
a
door,
I-
there's a 2-inch ring that is just 2 from the ceiling.
I have an important question. Is it humming at all?
Nope, there's no noise coming from it right now. It appears to just be structural rigging.
All right, that's fine. Whatever. Like you pick your battles ultimately.
I'm not allowed to go in.
choice.
There's a couple rules that I haven't broken yet. Not allowed to go in your
Yet.
room.
Oh no, you're not.
So that leads us to the two groups that split off. Conrad and Rachel made their way into one of the interior sections of Serin, relatively near where Rachel has been staying in the hydroponics area. They are seeking out essentially an area that, from what Rachel can tell using her totally not biopsionic abilities, that there appears to be essentially some form of electrical burn that has stripped a portion of the nervous system within Serin. Meanwhile, Kika and Thea began wriggling their way through the ship because some of the doors wouldn't open, so they found essentially a venting tube, but like just an interior tube that they are wriggling down. There was definitely something in the tube that is now dead.
You're welcome.
Because Kika landed on it. I don't know whether or not it was going to fight you, but it's dead now, so hopefully it wasn't important. And they are now in a hallway making their way to essentially the docking bay, where the Batleth is currently located, presumably where Ziana retired to, knowing that she was maybe not the best woman for the job. Yes.
Was there something bad happening in each of those locations?
I was about to get to that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad
That is a relative term.
Okay.
What was happening
I mean,
is
Not
that
that
the
relative.
door, the ring of muscle, closed behind
what ring?
the ring of muscle, the sphincter.
Oh,
It's
Right.
not
Okay.
quite like that. It's a little bit like that and a valve, like it's kind of crossed. I realized the functionality, they wouldn't seal completely. Anyway, I had to think about it a little bit.
So we spent some time thinking about sphincters.
I did, and valves and other biological orifices.
Hi, baby wolf. Thank you for the raid. Thank you.
So, the citizenship.
It's pretty
Service
great.
guarantees
Baby Wolf is pretty
citizenship.
great.
Okay. So, the doorway closed directly behind Conrad and Rachel, and the one in front of them at the other end of the hallway also was closed, and the temperature was beginning to rise in this section of corridors. Kika and Thea heard that kind of groaning sound of the docking bay doors, the bay doors slowly opening as that sort of hiss of air seems to be rushing out. And the
happened.
several corridors that are directly connected to the docking bay, they're clearly not sealed shut. Seren is clearly trying to get rid of something.
So the doors out of the docking bay are open.
The ones going into space and the ones leading into
Into
Seren.
the syringe. Yeah, so all doors open, docking opening,
At
venting.
some point, the doors are closed, but the ones nearest, essentially all those sections of corridor, are being vented through the docking bay. So let's jump to Kika really fast as the sound, and probably as you are somewhere, you may be at the helm of the Batleth, kind of looking out the window. You
Yeah.
sort of see like things. You suddenly realize you're not looking
That's
at the
not
interior.
supposed to happen.
There's space. And Oksana is like, this space is being depressurized. And not in a controlled fashion, Captain.
So do I know? Did we talk about your plans and where you would be? Do I even know that you are anywhere nearby?
Well, we went to
being
go.
possibly vented into
You
space.
probably
I'm
were
sure
there
we
for the
would've,
original
like-
portions of the plan. Like,
Okay.
we are going
We,
into this section. We're going near the docking bay. We're going into
Okay.
Yeah, we would have definitely communicated, like.
I mean, I didn't want to take it for like a given.
Ren, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, very, very reasonable concern.
Okay. Using the mental link that we have because we have all bonded with Seren, except for Rachel.
And I feel like Conrad may be regretting the decision. I don't know. There was a moment last time.
Conrad has never
Ziana-
volunteered for it.
Ziana is going to reach out to everybody that she can and say, why is the docking bay door opening? Where is everyone? What is happening?
I mean, you were at the meeting, right? Fictionally, we said that you were present for.
Yeah,
the
you were there.
explanation.
Okay.
She wouldn't know everyone's current
Yeah.
status.
Yeah,
like
where-
she would have known where you were heading to, but she wouldn't.
I
know
want to
where you
make sure
currently
that this is something that we're not trying to do, that y'all haven't come up with some kind of harebrained scheme.
I don't think any of this is on purpose.
Like,
Kika, Thea, where are you?
he's there, like,
are. Is that the docking bay?
it's like, is it cold in here? And like the slow, like, slide across the floor.
Is it absolute zero?
And
in
we're like,
here?
is this?
And then you just sort of hear the slightly panicked voice of, or maybe not panicked, but uncomfortable voice of Ari saying, "This is not an intentional. Well, this is, I think, a reflex action."
Okay, so is the GM comfortable with me saying that Ziana, being a sensible sort of warrior,
Yeah.
would be wearing her bat suit? Or at
Yeah,
least
I don't know why no one else thought to wear their suit.
Oh, we're going into a place that would want to kill us. Vac suits.
All right.
You can't go on vacation. We don't wear vac suits.
I'm pretty sure it got mentioned last time, and someone was like, "Nah, it'd be fine."
I'm fine.
Well, we're
okay.
not in.
Yeah.
We're not really in danger of that. We're just going to
Yeah.
be roasted alive.
Vac suits wouldn't help you there.
Not really.
They would not.
Oksana, activate the keep hold of the ship with, I'm assuming, some kind of
clamps.
maglock
Yeah.
or okay.
Clamping.
Keep hold of the ship, and Ziana puts on her helmet and is gonna head out of the Batleth. After getting some kind of like tether, something
Yeah.
with like clamps on it, she can
Bungee
tether
cord.
herself into.
The equivalent of like a one of those like life rings, but for space.
Yeah, so something that
It's
she can.
essentially a grappling hook, and it just like magnets onto someone.
Yeah. So
Like a
she
big
is
ol'
going
suction
to.
I assume we're a couple hallways away from each other, though. Like, I'm gonna get suctioned into your area.
Yeah.
But I'm probably not in the bay yet.
No, you are in the hallway.
I have to catch you. That's fine.
Is it
No,
good?
I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm fine. You what?
Thea's like,
I don't want to hear about your
Alright.
plan.
Kika, we didn't make a mistake, did we?
Hold on. And I would like to use my I want to use my Tinker Tunker right now.
Okay,
Let's
you
go
want to
big.
Tinker Tunker. How are you
And,
going to Tinker Tunker your way out of this
My
scenario?
Tinker Tunker means I can create a single-use item with supplies.
You do need supplies.
And so, like, we are being sucked down hallways. I assume we're doing the whole Willy Wonka's going, floating up in that silver
Yeah.
tube towards the rotary blades, or we're just trying to claw.
You gotta
and
burp
not
your
getting
way out
anything.
of this.
Yep.
But I want to tinker and tunker my way through, and every time I grip on something, just drag it with me. So,
What are you
like,
trying to grip onto?
I'm trying to create a device between me and.
I need you to be specific.
Yeah.
What are you
Okay,
trying to create,
I want-
and what do you
okay.
want it to do, and what are you using to make it?
I would like to make a connection between, kind of tether between me and Thea.
Okay,
So
so
that we
tether
stay
the two
together.
together.
No, I need those for science. And so I have plans. First off, I'm going to, just to be clear, Kika is covered in fur. I'm gonna rip off my shirt. I'm gonna use that and make it into like a strong rope. And then I'm also, as I'm flying, I assume there's gonna be like that wouldn't help me. I can think about that's fast on your feet. Oh, I know I've chewed through their floorboards before.
What?
Yeah.
Syringe.
In the evil Syringe. I have definitely chewed on wires and
You
made them purr.
Did, but it was in the ship that was mostly broken.
Yeah.
This one is not mostly
Oh,
broken.
no.
There's not exactly a lot of exposed interior tubing on Sarin. Sarin is actually, like, compared to the Batleth, very, very smooth wires.
Okay, then I'm
Very
gonna try
smooth
to
walls.
tinker tunker by taking my clothes, taking my new twilly twee.
Why don't you just have Thea hold on to you?
Oh, can we do that?
Yeah.
I don't
if
have
you
to
need
loop
your
her?
hands
Yeah.
for science, she doesn't.
Oh.
And you know what you also have?
Wings.
Yeah. You know what will create more air resistance?
Wings.
Is it wings?
You're
Oh
great.
my goodness.
You could, in fact, glide into using the force of the air that is being sucked out of this corridor.
So I don't need to twilly twee
No.
or tinker tunker. I could just be an alien.
I'm really sorry. I think I just super disappointed you.
It's
You
okay.
can still take your Tunker if
No,
you
it's
want.
good. This is a way better plan.
Okay.
I think Kika was just like, better lose
Like,
this.
you start taking your
Yeah.
clothes off, and like Thea just wraps her arms around you and just like holds on really tight and is like, "You can fly, right?
Yeah.
Or glide, right?
Oh yeah.
Glide us out of here." Oh,
Okay.
she holds on beautifully with boxcars.
Nice.
Nice.
Good job.
So it's probably an exert check.
For gliding, I would say this is probably dexterity and exert.
So to
You-
be clear, where are you gliding to?
Trying to get to
into
a-
the docking bay.
Yeah, 'cause
and
I'm
then
trying to slow
eventually out into space unless someone
Okay, okay. So
I'm just controlling better, so I'm able to like.
Ziana,
turn.
from what I can see, Kika and Thea are slowly entering the docking bay.
all right, so Ziana
11.
attaches one end of the tether to her back suit, the other end to Sarin,
Okay.
and starts to try and position herself, and and mentally says, "Kika, try and direct yourself towards me, and I'll catch you and Thea,
Okay.
and then I will take you into the Batleth."
Can you? No, this is gonna be beautiful. Can you roll me a strength and exert to hold your place?
Yeah, I can. Those are what I'm good at. And
Don't you get a third one? Because it's your,
just-
like...
Only for attacks.
Just 10?
Hold on.
Wait.
No,
If it's 10, you're fine. You hold your ground.
it's not.
It's not 10, then you can tell me what you do.
4, 5. Oh, really? It's a 0?
What?
What's a 0?
My exert. That seems wrong.
Oh, I think it's because you put everything into punch.
5. So it is a 5.
I would suggest
Whoa.
you use your once per session
They don't-
reroll.
she-
She's
Get
not an
that.
expert.
She doesn't
She's
have
not a
that.
combat
No,
round.
I'm a
She's
warrior.
a warrior. She gets an auto success on
If she
a
wants to
attack.
kill Kika, she can do that.
Yeah, I know. And can I punch this problem?
So I'm just gonna. Should I visually just say Kika's like gliding perfectly, just collides?
Yeah, do you want to
Ziana's
take a
facing the
success
wrong
with a
way.
consequence?
Yes.
Okay. This actually works out surprisingly well for me because I didn't know what I was going to do with Thea, but now I do.
Oh
Oh
no.
God, she's dead.
You can't kill them when you're not even
Sarah.
here.
I would not kill
Actually, that happened to me first game, remember?
You're
That was
allowed
not
to kill
with
someone that's not
Lauren.
Did you say-
present.
Careful of the cross chat.
Thank you, Cross.
Thank you.
I killed
My
you.
character's heart.
Did you
got
say
ripped
first
out.
I was not there for that.
That's fair.
I was in a foreign country. Thank you very much. Do not cast
And if-
aspersions at me.
If you were there, I wouldn't have gotten my heart ripped out.
I don't know. Anyway, Ziana, you stumble as the force of this massive volume of air is being jettisoned out of the back of Seren.
And there's a lot of me.
And there's a lot of you. You have a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
But you see, gliding towards you, almost flying, a small bat. Being held onto by a much larger Thea. As Kika launches in, you just sort of you end up just kind of like smacking her wings so she tumbles into your arms and both of you land on Thea.
Oh.
A slight crunch as Thea may or may not be unconscious.
Don't worry about that. We just won't. And she kind of gathers up Thea. No. She gathers up Kika, gathers up Thea, and is gonna trudge back towards the Batleth.
Yep. Thea's not quite out of it, but she's very clearly had a very large bump on the noggin. And is going to just kind of sit down, and you can see like her eyes do that thing where like one of them, the one that had the implant, just like
Oh,
rolls
Lord.
into the back of
Oh,
her
no.
head.
I'm so glad you can't do the
I
thing
know.
that Sarah
No,
can
I
do
can't.
because that would be really freaky.
And it just sort of rolls back into her head, and she's like, "I'm fine."
Get her
Oh.
some Space Mountain Dew.
Oh no. And, Thea.
Is she okay? Is she okay?
She.
Is she okay? Is she okay?
Yeah. No, she's fine.
Kika can't tell that one of her eyes is
Yeah.
Is it fine?
No, yeah. She's fine. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
gonna-
Thea, let's put you to bed.
Put her upside down. It increases circulation.
I don't.
That's why babies are upside down.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
how. I don't think that's how humans or
I would
whatever
like both
Thea
of you,
is to work.
both of you to roll intelligence and heal.
And heal.
Yep.
Oh hey, I think I actually do have I have 0 in heal.
I would like. We're gonna find out who's gonna have the right idea.
Is it gonna be the person
8.
who wants to hold Thea upside down?
7.
She might have a point.
Oh my god.
Like it's probably
Oh,
wrong,
Jesus
but
Christ.
he is human, and you don't really know how to deal with
And I'm
humans.
not entirely sure she is.
She's
human.
she might not be human.
She's got those freaky things.
been around her the longest.
Listen. When your baby's crying, you hold them upside down because it helps to push blood up, not down.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Kids.
Oh my god.
So
Sorry, Sarah.
So Ziana is going to use the tether that she's brought in with her. And I'm assuming that we came in through maybe the cargo hold.
Yeah.
So she's going to take Thea over to the salmon ladders and kind of hold Thea up by her ankles and then use the tether to like tie her in place to the salmon ladder.
You have to swaddle her first.
Oh my
Well,
god.
but there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah,
I
she's
feel like
swaddling
this
her
is
with
swaddled
the
pretty
tether.
well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Thea, you just stay here until you feel better.
Okay.
Wow.
Feel better. And she's like holding like Thea's face, and I assume you're like little like 2 dexterous thumbs are like rubbing her cheeks to get them.
Rolling back a little, she put her in the vac suit first.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Just
Awkwardly
zip her into a vac suit, put a helmet on her, stuck her upside down by her ankles, held her up there, wrapped her in
Arms
this
aren't
tether.
actually in the backsuit arms. They're just like in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we swaddle her.
It's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the swaddling.
I think he gets just rubbing the glass, just being like, "It's gonna be good," and then kisses the forehead of the glass.
Clink,
Okay.
clink, clink. You sure this is gonna work?
Yeah.
This is so kooky dukes.
It sounds legit to me. It's fine.
This is what happens when people who don't know what they're doing do stuff.
This is what happens when Lindsay rolls badly.
My intelligence is 8, so I don't know what you're talking about. I know everything about human anatomy.
No, I think they tied her to one of the bars.
To the salmon
Yeah,
ladder.
the bar that goes across, the ones that move.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gonna.
yeah.
It'd be fine.
Yeah.
I'd probably never fall out of place.
No.
No,
And
it's
she's
fine.
in the vac suit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be safe.
She's gonna be perfectly
She's gonna be more
safe.
safe than me.
Oh my god.
She's
You know
fine.
who's not
Okay.
safe right now.
This is
Yeah,
like the least
everyone.
dignified way for her to die.
Like how my helmet gets on and it has little ear
Um,
holes that are like mesh foam.
Beep beep across comms now.
No.
Where is everyone else?
We're
You.
Flash 2.
we're in a hallway. It's getting kind of hot in here.
We're
It's
in
warm.
between. We're in between the bridge and the I don't know, bowels.
Actually, they're probably closer to the. It's
What
unclear
was-
what bowels are on Sarin because they don't really eat food.
What was our target again? Like-
You were heading essentially to a section of. It will probably. It's a section of nerve that would connect between the brain and the thread drive. And there's a section that, from what Rachel
I'm like
can tell,
feeling
has
my way.
essentially been killed. Like, it has been damaged through a significant electrical discharge.
Yeah, so I'm just like, it's this way. I can feel it. It's over here. And I point in the direction of the door that is still closed at the end of the hallway.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like we're encountering a lot of sphincters that seem to be impeding our progress, and now it's getting kind of hot in here.
What's the girl's name?
Ari?
Ari said that it's like a fever. Sarin is trying to get us out. We're trying to get something out. We'll get there and we'll fix it and it'll be fine. Still like power walking.
Can both of you give me physical saving throws?
That's a d20, right?
Yep.
Ooh,
I want to use the big one.
23.
Okay.
17.
It's hot. You're very clearly feeling that like sweat build up on you, but you are able to kind of push it down and be like, no, it's just a toasty warm day. You might want to, like, if you have like a sweatshirt on or something, you'd be compelled to maybe take it off, but otherwise you hold your ground.
Good.
You are well ventilated, Conrad.
I take off my cool future, not really leather, but leather-ish moto jacket, and I like tie it around my waist like a 90s flannel.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I meep to Aryuta and say, "Hey, it's getting kind of hot in here. Is there anything you can do at your end to maybe?"
Maybe I'm looking. I'm also dealing with all of the air being vented out of several portions of the ship, and this is not the only section. Do you have more specific information? Do you know where? Let me see if I can find where you are.
Is there any way that I can try and help her know where we are specifically in Sarin?
Probably not. She's going to be directly through the ship, so a lot of it's going to be dependent on where damage is.
I
Can
just wondered
I-
if I could, because
Yeah.
I can feel within 100 meters, like the living creature around me. I could probably give her an idea of like what's here.
You can try. Go ahead and give me a biopsionics and wisdom.
Okay.
And can I like roll to see how well I remember sort of
What
because
path you took?
I can mentally convey to her
Yeah.
I guess the sense of directions if I
Yeah, for that one,
10.
Cool. All right. Between what you end up. How would you get that information to Ari?
I think it's that I focus a little because I'm already pretty well focused on like what I'm feeling in terms of the ship, and I give her ahead there's a branching pathway that leads one to the left and one straight ahead, and behind us there are 3 paths leading these directions, and I feel that there's a very wide room to the left, west or whatever.
Awesome. And Conrad, give me your. This would probably be no and wisdom or intelligence. I'll take either
Alright.
one.
8.
You know, my
So
Ari's that type of psionic. 8. You fumble over kind of some of the directions. Your lack of depth perception actually probably made it a little bit hard. You didn't see like corridors on your left-hand side, so like you weren't.
I was
actually,
pretty
like,
stressed out too. I was like booking it after.
Yeah, you think, we were
Rachel.
like the second one, but
Yeah.
no, there was actually 3 because you couldn't see one of them. You didn't see one of the corridors. But Ari, you feel almost as you're reaching out, there is a presence. And you felt it a little bit before when she was kind of helping you connect with Sarin.
Right.
And you get this feeling, your family is psionic.
Very.
You are somewhat familiar with this sensation. It's when you make contact with a metascion, someone who's essentially a psionic who is able to connect with other psionics.
Right.
And that was, Ari didn't describe it in the same way when she talked about herself, but that's sort of the concept of what she was able to do. And so from that, she sort of pauses, and you hear both of her come over the comms. I think I know where you are. Let me see if I can do anything here. Just sit tight and stay cool.
We're trying.
Right. So
I don't sit tight at all, by the way.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
we're
like-
still booking it to the
Okay.
other end. When we get to the other end, is it just like another sphincter? Or
Go
is
ahead
it-
and both of you give me a notice and perception as you are walking. Sorry, notice and wisdom. Yeah, wrong system.
Ah, 6.
Also 6.
Damn it.
That's fine. You keep walking.
Yeah.
As you do, as you head and you get directly, essentially, to this door. And as you are pausing and kind of looking at it, it looks functionally the same as the previous one that you went through. You suspect it, like you're in a pretty large section of hallway. You suspect like it is sealing off a specific region to purge out whatever is in here. And as you are looking around, both of you, like there is a moment where the hair like stands up on the back of your neck. And you hear like a squelch from behind you.
I do the slow movie turn where you turn like your eyes and then your head and then your body.
And behind you, do you turn around as well? Or
Yeah.
are you still focused on
Well, I have alert, so if I'm about to be attacked,
You will not be
then-
surprised, but you did not see them before
No.
they appeared. Good to know. So as you turn around, you see, for a moment, what you would perceive as a large version of Slurpee.
Oh,
Except it is about your size, so maybe
It's like a
6
Great Dane
foot
version.
in length. Yeah, it's like comparing a Chihuahua to a Great Dane.
Oh.
Yeah, like that sort of size spectrum. Yeah, like a 1 foot to a 6 foot. Large body. It looks like underneath, it's not quite a centipede in like their feet, but it's very clearly got like little tentacles, things that it like
my goodness.
shuffles its way, like very large cilia that it like slimes its way
love
along. Its body, it kind of is in a sort of a long, narrow shape, and you're not really sure if it has a face at all, but it is very clearly squelching. There are 2 of them. They are both squelching towards you along the walls.
Why don't you try to make friends and I'll handle this door?
do I perceive them to be like Slurpee? Like, would I?
Oh God, please.
Yeah,
Oh God.
give me a wisdom and no.
10.
They're bigger than Slurpee. You
Go on.
you notice kind of behind them, they as they are sliding over the walls, like Slurpee didn't have those same sort of tentacles. Like it clearly kind of only had something that was mouth-like in one area. It did leave behind it a trail. You notice on this one that like there isn't really a trail being left behind it. It's clearly not like slurping something, and its body seems to convulse in a more muscular way. Like it's clearly using less.
Yes.
It's less like a slug and more, a little bit more snake-like.
I don't know how friendly these guys are gonna be. I pull out a Mito Sticko and I like crack off a bit of it and I try like tossing it as far as I can down the other end of the hall.
You see as you throw it and it kind of goes past, like there's like a sort of ripple along it, and it pauses for a moment and then continues moving towards you.
Doesn't
Like-
like it?
Hey, buddy, you want some more Mito Sticko? Huh?
Great sounds. Good noises. Yep, you're doing it.
I crack off another piece.
While he's
And
like
I-
trying to tempt it with Mito Stickos, can I be like examining the door to see how it might open?
I think we're fixing the problem.
How do you want to examine it? Either physical senses, psionic senses?
I think that like she was very purposefully like tuned into like where she was and how it felt with her biopsionics. So that's probably like the first and foremost thing. Like I think she would be like instinctively directing like her like thought processes away from those things because they're scary and slimy. She wants to go away from them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Go ahead and then enroll with your wisdom and biopsionics. Why the noises? Why not the noises?
11.
You sort of take a moment and kind of press your hands almost over this doorway, and from what you can tell, it's essentially just a tensed muscle. Like it's like I am closed. Like this is the state of being that I am going to be in.
Okay.
And you think that you might actually be able to overpower that with enough effort.
Okay. Do you want me to like commit effort or just like?
I think for this, it would probably be committing it for the scene. So
Yeah, I'll do it.
Conrad, what are you doing?
So the first Mito Sticko piece, it reacted to it, but it didn't actually go for it. So I'm going to throw a larger chunk. I'm going to throw it like
Keep
not as
throwing.
far. I'm like trying to see if I can get a reaction from it to like actually get it to.
From what you can tell, like as the second one goes past, it completely ignores it this time. Like it is now within melee range of you.
What flavor was that?
I say, okay, buddy. To be clear, it looks like it's going to try to
Make contact with you?
consume me,
Yeah.
or
Probably.
I say, okay, buddy. I'm sorry I have to do this, and I don't have my combat rifle on me, but I pull out my thermal pistol, and I dial it down. Like I just want it to. I want to hurt it. I don't want to like kill it. I just want to like.
You want to shoo it away?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Roll. Shoot for me. Roll your attack.
All right. That's gonna be. Oh, where's my? There it is. So it's like 21, I believe.
That will definitely hit it. So you dialed it down. So let's do half damage then.
All right.
So you can roll
That
a
one
half
rolls
the
2d6, so I'll just
roll
roll
a d6.
1d6. And I add, I think, my dex bonus to it as well, so it's 5 damage.
And do you have gunslinger?
Yes.
You add your level and shoots as well.
Oh, so that's 8.
Pain.
You land like a solid shot in the middle of what you think might be
Where?
the head. Maybe does
Right
it have
between
a head?
the eyes?
Right. Yeah. And it like freezes
And I'm like, okay,
when that
buddy.
happens, and there's like another like shudder that goes over the whole thing.
Okay, buddy, we get it now. All right, we're gonna.
The other
keep
one is
calm,
also
take it
frozen on the
easy.
wall.
All right, we're good now. Okay. Good boy. And I gently reach out and I try to pet it.
It's gonna lunge
Gently.
at you, but you can't be surprised. As you reach closer, you see, like, you were able with your alert to see like all of the ripple of the muscle as it kind of squelches back slightly and then just pounces forward.
All right.
And as you do, you see like the entire bottom of it is a mouth. Like the whole thing is trying to eat you.
Like multiple mouths?
No, it's just
okay,
one,
just one
very.
big
It's
mouth.
basically
Okay.
like I am going to encase you in a sleeping
That's
bag, and I'm
slightly
going
less
to
horror
digest
movie
you.
creepy.
This is my favorite thing ever.
Oh, well, how nice for you.
When do I get to be eaten by the giant monster?
I think the other one's probably going to try and lunge at you.
Even though I just committed effort to open the door.
I'm gonna have you roll that, but you are still there, so it is still going
Okay,
to try
no,
and
that's
lunge at
fine.
you.
That's fine.
So let's do. Give me your biopsionic and wisdom roll, and then what's your AC?
My AC is 16.
And what's your AC? Yours is 16 too.
15.
Okay, they both miss. I rolled an 8 and a 3. These dice are terrible. As both of them, like, you see this giant mouth essentially like lunging for you with like little tentacles on the side, and it just sort of slops past you as you kind of just step to the side. What did you roll?
I got an 8.
8. it stutters for a moment. Do you want a success with a consequence, or do you want
I'll take the
to take
fail.
take the
Yeah.
fail? Okay. And as it does, you were distracted
Distracted.
by it, and
Yeah.
like it turns around and it just sort of slams against the door as you kind of peel away from it.
Bad news, Rachel. I don't think we're going to be able to reason with these things.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So I'll take another shot at it.
Cool. We can roll initiative, but it'll pretty much be the two of you and then the two of them.
Yeah,
so
it's fine.
I'm not
Fine.
super
Not
worried
worried.
about
Alright.
going in an order.
Ooh, that's not a high roll. Let's see. Is this 11, 12, 15, 16, I believe.
They are not hard to hit.
All right, good.
Their primary defense is not so much against living things that shoot them. It's more for other creatures that end up on board.
13 damage.
Okay. Yeah, that's more than enough. As you hit the same one,
Yeah.
you crank it back up, and this time you fire the shot, and what you realize, there is no head, there's just body and mouth, and the whole thing, like, you puncture a hole through it, and it just kind of, like, seems to... Maybe it's dead, maybe it's just been incapacitated for a moment.
Sorry, buddy. But I didn't have a choice, okay? This is...
What does Rachel do?
I want to push it away with my mind.
Okay. So with telekinesis,
Level 1,
when
I
you-
can move it up to 20 meters per round. Level, 0 as I'm at is like with my own strength.
Yeah. So the only trick is if it is something that does not want to be moved, they do get a resist.
Uh-huh.
So that is the only trick. But what? I think you roll against it. No, they do a saving throw. I got a 17. I think it doesn't quite move
Yeah.
as it sort of squelches against the wall, and you sort of just like push it backwards. I think it's a resist. Either that or you roll it as attack. It's one of the two. It's in the top section.
Oh, in the top section?
Yeah, because you can't technically use it to like get something out of someone's hand.
Right,
So if
okay.
you use it against non-sentient creatures,
It's a kinetic impact, so if it doesn't move, I would probably still get to hit it.
Oh, because you're like,
1d6 damage.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Go ahead
I
and
would
roll a
probably
d6.
still roll to hit.
I'll double check this one.
Well, I guess I wouldn't have to roll to hit.
Yeah, I think you just roll 1d6.
Okay.
I'll double check. It's not a big deal.
4.
4. As it kind of like,
It refuses to move, but it still gets squished a little.
yeah, it basically like you see the body just sort of like press against this doorway. It kind of like pushes itself back and turns around. Very clearly at this point, picturing the Conrad as the threat, it is going to pounce at you.
Well, I didn't shoot a hole through anything, so.
And with a 5, it is going to miss and just flops on the floor next to you.
Come on, buddy, I don't want to have to do this. And I take another shot at it.
The not the one that's already down.
Yeah, the one.
No, he's
The
gonna
one that's
double
trying to
tap.
kill me. I rolled a 17, so
That will
assume
definitely
I'm gonna
hit. They
hit
have
it.
a very low AC.
is it because they're really slow and because they're
Yeah, they're not
7,
fighting. They're cleaners.
8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
11. Okay. Not quite enough to blast it into two pieces, but between the two, it doesn't look super happy. It's like leaking now. Like it's clearly its membrane has been punctured, and it's just like oozing
I
slightly.
want to try to throw another piece of Mito Sticko at it and see if, like, now maybe it'll consider.
I'll let you do that as a free action.
All right, so I toss.
How
I'm
many Mito Stickos do you
I
have?
have a few.
He has a plot number of Mito stickers.
So I'm like, come on, buddy, just take it and go. And I toss it another Mito Sticko.
It rolled a fucking nat 1 on resisting that. It goes after the Mito Sticko.
See, not everything needs to be solved with violence.
I turn back towards the door.
Somewhere, Ziana looks off into the distance. I think I heard some nonsense, but I'm not sure.
She says this as next to, like, Thea gently swinging upside down in a back suit.
He says like not everything needs to be solved with violence, and instead of trying to use like gentle massage or like use my like biopsionics, I'm just gonna like tear
Rip it
the
open.
door.
Just like
I'm
with your
gonna
hands.
use violence.
What form of violence are you attempting to use on the door?
Just like I
Brute
guess.
strength, telekinetic strength, gun strength.
I guess it would be funny if I just turned toward the door and shot it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to roll, not because you will hit it, but I kind of want to know the ferocity of this hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll me your attack.
Damage.
I got a 20.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? I will take that. With a nat 20, you line up the shot in the dead center of the door, and it just spasms, and it opens.
Oh, jeez.
And a rush of cold air comes over you as you are no longer, like, you are slammed against the air on the other side. It is very clearly no longer warm. And you see, like, you get the feeling you're like, I have a brief moment to deal with this. The door is open.
Okay. Come on.
All right.
And I look back at the door as we pass through it. I'm like,
Slam
As-
shut.
I'll be back later. I'm sad that I heard it, but it's okay.
It slams shut before I get a chance to say to the little guy, "Come on."
Oh, God.
You know they like it when it's warm, right? Oh no, I guess you don't.
I
Why
don't
do
know
they like
that.
it when it's warm?
It's
Worms
like
don't
your
like fire.
white blood cells.
That's why you get a fever. It makes it a better biological condition for your more hostile to invaders and better
Roombas
for you.
Don't like
Sort of.
fire.
They're not
Sometimes.
Roombas.
They're not Roombas.
And it's not fire. It's just
They're
warm.
just really big white blood cells.
But
I'm gonna have to ask you how the
For the
digestive
record-
system works, because it's a big long mouth.
I don't know. That could have been totally
for the
bullshit,
record,
too.
Roombas don't like fire. It is true.
For the record.
It's also not a digestive system. It's just it's a digestive pocket. It just
Yeah,
absorbs
so
it.
when it gets full, does it just stay there and the acid just kind of drips through its mouth? And like a car
There
wash.
are
Yeah.
there are actual things though that the
like
the,
a Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Everything goes in and comes out the same way.
Yeah,
Does it?
and then it just digests it, and then when it's done, it
Yeah.
Leaves a skeleton on the floor.
I feel like a Venus
they're
flytrap.
phagocytes.
like
They engulf bad things and then destroy them. We break it down.
I want one. What is
You
your
have
name?
a lot of them inside of
Yeah.
your body.
You do.
No, what are these
Got
guys'
at least
names?
10.
Oh, I don't know. So they probably
They're
have
called
names.
phagocytes.
They're phagocytes.
Okay, I'm gonna write that next to this.
Okay.
I learned science
You
today.
did learn science today. As you head out into the much cooler air of the hallway, Ari's like, I think you solved the problem. I saw the door opened.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll keep working on it. I should have it fixed by the time you're on your way back.
There's a super large Slurpee or two.
The
Still.
phagocytes.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you can do to help them out, but I think they were just
What
trying
happened to them?
Well,
Oh,
we-
they would have been trying to eat you.
yeah, I had to put one of them down, and well, I got
Oh.
the other one to stop. But you may
The
want
other one will probably eat that one. It'll be fine.
Oh,
They'll pick up two. Well, one big one.
Their job is to clean up refuse.
well, I just feel bad for them. Is
If
all.
you were like around, you would see Rachel like shaking her head, still power walking
don't
down the hallway.
Really have feelings though.
That's what you think.
Conrad chooses not to respond to that. He's going to keep his own counsel on whether or not they have feelings.
Back to the Batleth, where there's the swinging form of Thea.
We've secured her very well.
Sorry. There's the gently
Maybe swaying a little.
swaying slightly form of Thea.
Remember that her arms are in her little suit,
Yeah.
so the empty
So
arms
she's
just
gonna-
kind of flop.
So she's going to heal extra well.
Question: what are you gonna go do now?
So, did you deal with the reason you didn't come with us in the first place? Or?
Look, I was just trying to stay out of the way of
Why?
the people who do science things.
Why? The only way to experience science is to get in there and touch things and go like, "Meh," and then it goes.
When
"Meh."
I get in there and touch things, the things tend to bleed and then die. Which is, in general, I think, not what.
Just like that when I.
Yeah, which is, in general, from what I understand, not the goal here.
Okay. Like he gets just like, okay.
Beep beep over comms. Conrad, Rachel, do you need us for anything? Do you need punchings?
No punching here. We got it.
I don't know how easily you could get over to where we are anyway. Besides, don't you guys have to take care of the system down there?
Yeah. Okay, Kika would totally know what system I'm
take care
trying to fix. What kind of system is Kika fixing?
Kika knows that she has been sent to fix one of the systems.
Okay.
You don't have to roll for that.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
Kika knows this. This is why she was there. This is one of the more mechanical systems because this one
yeah.
directly connects
Okay.
into the thread drive. You are entering essentially
Okay.
the nervous system that needs to be.
What is
repaired.
the location of the system that Kika was sent off with Thea to take care of? Like
It's
where is
essentially
that?
right above the docking bay.
Okay.
Let's go.
How easy is that?
Yeah. Well, we've already dealt with the worst it can do.
Can you please put on a vat suit before we leave?
Yeah,
Have
and
to.
like
To be
it's-
clear, the docking bay doors have not closed.
Yes.
Yeah, Kika's I think half in one where she's got her suit on, but she doesn't like it around her wings.
Getting impatient,
Do
Ziana.
no, I'm explaining how cute she looks because her the half of her jumpsuit is tied around her waist, and she's got the helmet on, and with her ear cuffs are open so that she can hear better.
So she's in a vac suit
Oh
that's
my God.
entirely useless right
Yeah,
now.
but I can put it on myself.
But
So
you can
while
hear
she's
great.
after
in the
she's
vacuum of
done
space.
being adorable for the audience, Ziana, much like a mother with a fussy toddler,
No.
in her trying to get her into a
No.
winter jacket,
No.
starts to work
I can do it myself. I
into
can do
her
it.
vac suit.
Kika's the oldest, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
That is not accurate.
No, it's true. She
It
is.
is.
the
It is
oldest-
only accurate in terms of
Of
percentage
That year.
Yeah.
through your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was actually the oldest.
No, Ziana, the Andartans live for like what 300 years or something.
They live for a very long. Like
Yeah.
I'm like almost no. I'm over 100 years old.
So yeah, Kika's
It's
got
just
like
that by
gray in her
comparison,
nose.
Ziana is much younger.
Ziana is just out of her adolescence by a bit,
Okay.
whereas this one's
But
older.
yes, Kika is most advanced in life
Ironically.
progression. Kika has grandchildren.
Yes.
Some. I love it.
All right. Zip up.
11 grandchildren? Good lord, your children got at it.
Well, one did.
I mean, do they have litters?
No, but they mature very quickly.
Oh.
So you can have in one season 2 pups.
Oh, and Dartons have the opposite problem. We mature very slowly.
Like elephants.
Yes.
Okay.
That's one of our problems. Is she stuffs them and seals it up. All right. Now,
I assume there's a zipper on the side.
something more secure, like and technological than a zipper, probably.
A
but-
space zipper. You're right. Zipper.
Zipper. Zipper.
I missed you. Okay.
But
So-
you have hooks on the outside of your gear.
Yes.
Okay.
So get on my back and hold on.
can we tether?
As you leave the docking bay in the Batleth, where you have tethered up Thea, you just hear like this clunk sound, which Kika, you 100% recognize as the gravity being turned off in the docking bay
Oh.
in the cargo bay.
Oh.
I wonder why. I wonder what I have.
Does the vat suit have like magnetic feetsies?
No, it's not for where you two are. It's specifically where Thea is upside down currently.
Oh, no
No, she's
problem.
not.
No, she's not upside
That's
down
fine. She's
because
in a
of the
vac suit, that's
gravity. So she's sort of
She's just there.
yeah, she's just tethered
Existing.
to the bar.
That's fine.
It's way better.
Okay.
Someone
So
has access
okay.
to space Google.
My idea of a space zipper is that it just like seals like in contact.
Oh, yeah.
The like thing. It just seals and there's no place where
seam.
there's
it's like
no-
a
yeah.
Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah, I mean, that's what it should be. It should be space ziploc.
yeah.
but yeah.
You
So like
can't
essentially
see
just
the
seals and there's
yeah.
no seam,
Yeah.
there's no nothing. Yeah, totally.
It's great.
It's very much like Back to the Future, just like
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Just sealed the little fuzzy thing into it. You did put your shirt back on, right? Yeah. Whatever, you're in a bat suit now, I know.
I mean,
Um,
fur.
how? Okay, so I need to get somewhere above the cargo bay.
We can't. You don't want to. You don't want to go through the vents.
I'm not sure I could fit
Zia
through the
cannot
vents.
fit through the vents.
I am
Thea
7
like
feet
it.
tall.
He's like, how do you get up without the?
Yes, you essentially need to. They were going to work their way. They ended up overshooting, so you needed to be like a level up from where they were. And so there are doorways essentially that you can more or less walk to. At this point, the amount of air that is leaving is much, much lower. It's pretty much just a zero vacuum.
Okay.
So you're not going to be facing nearly as much resistance. You can walk to a corridor that would essentially be the corridor that you need to get to.
That is what Ziana will begin to do.
It happens. This one she doesn't. There's not enough resistance there. She just sort of like trudges her way, unless Kika wants to actively stop her in any capacity.
I think Kika realizes that, like, in the silence of space, it is incredibly quiet, and Kika can, like, it's low. What is it called? Low. Where there's
Density.
where there's a little bit of low atmosphere. A little bit of atmosphere, but not that much. So, like, Kika's basically...
It's like the equivalent of being in the dark for humans.
Yeah, so what Kika's actually going to do is put her helmet against Ziana's helmet so that I can feel the sound waves go through them, right? And then, because there would be vibrations as yours hit the shield, so that I can continue talking. I'd be like...
I mean, you also have a mental link.
You also have like
Oh!
microphones. Like there are communication devices inside the suits. What did you?
You can hear.
I assumed you were
Sorry, it's been
concerned
a
just
long
about
day,
seeing
Claudia.
things.
I mean, no, I assume that she's, like, hooked on. She's like, I don't know if I can see things.
I could totally see Kika still putting her helmet against.
I love how
Ziana.
Claudia spends like 30% of the time trying to solve problems that aren't there.
That don't exist.
I mean, it was a cute and I think well reasoned solution.
Yeah. But then I was like, oh, yeah.
So is
we can
Kika
talk.
still like?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
So when are you going to start going to dinner and stop taking it in your quarters?
What? Why are we talking about this now?
Well, I mean, this is the
slowly
first
trudge
time
your
that
way.
we've been alone, and I don't want to bring up in front of Thea.
I don't think that's
The last time we were hanging
You
out
have
together.
actively not been alone with any
Yes,
member.
Yeah.
I know. I'm realizing that.
Yeah.
There's probably been a moment where it was just you and I in the canteen or whatever, and both of us were just like sullenly quiet and like coexisting, but not saying anything.
But we're both really good at that
Yes.
and understanding that that is what's happening.
Yep.
And so
Yes.
it works very well. This one is a chatty Cathy.
And I think Kika's nervously now, like, ticking against your helmet and being like,
It's like tick, tick, tick.
Yeah. Oh, God.
so are we going to talk about it, or are we going to pretend like there's not an emptiness?
You
Kika,
did pack up everything in her room.
Kika, what do you want me to say?
I want you to say what you want to say.
What am I supposed to say? She's not here. She's off doing... Hexie is... The person that I love is somewhere else, and I have no control over what's happening or how she is. I don't even know how she is until she checks in, and then it's like she wasn't even... Packing up her room was hard. It's like she's not coming back.
Did you put it in a box?
I had to put some things in boxes.
Is that box for you?
No, I'm keeping it for her. It's not like we've broken up or anything. It's just I miss her. Didn't you ever?
I'm still technically married to Tarko.
Yeah.
Technically.
How does that work exactly?
The last time I saw him was in a terminal, and he purposefully looked away.
Wow.
But, you know, it's one of those things. You know, it's part of being a being. Sometimes you kind of let it ride stars, and sometimes you get in that rocket and you directly take it where Tarko is, and you guys make out until you have a third child.
I don't think Hexie and I are planning on procreating.
No. Your hormones are in check.
I No, you know what? Actually, I'm not having that conversation with you.
I
don't
am just
Okay, here's a question. Could you and Hexy procreate?
yes.
With what technology level?
I mean, you know, technology makes lots of things.
You're just
possible.
Chacha knows exactly how to help you with
Who
that.
knows? But yeah, there's a lot going against it.
I've heard it's really hard for Klingons and Trill to...
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's pretty difficult.
The
Um,
Klingons and humans.
It's fine. Yeah.
You are
That's a good question, Ivy.
so worried about how Thea is and making sure my suit's on and making sure the ship is paid off. What do you want?
I would like to not be having this conversation.
Okay.
But
You step into the hallway.
I think you should have the conversation with yourself.
why would I talk to myself? That's
That's
a
pretty
thing that people do when they're
Thinking.
sad
Okay.
and alone.
Okay. Well,
And I am definitely not alone.
Unfortunately.
well actually, I mean, Hexie is on an adventure.
Way to help, Kika. There is a door in front of you.
There's a door in front
So
of
many
me.
doors.
Oh.
This one, you realize you have reached the end of the hallway that had been sealed off before the atmosphere was vented. And Kika, if you look around, you have become pretty good at recognizing like access ports into the interior systems that you know you could fit through.
Oh yeah.
But otherwise, you pretty much know that either whatever happens if this door gets opened in any capacity, atmosphere is going to be vented very quickly.
So are we in a space where there is another door relatively near? That like, are we in a hallway that has two?
It's pretty much the section that you're in leads out into the docking bay. And this
Okay.
is the first door.
So
before
would
the
it be a
docking bay.
big space if we were to somehow be able to seal it off from the docking bay? It's still a pretty big space.
It wouldn't be huge, but it would be a reasonably sized corridor.
Kika,
Yeah, it'd be corridor size, not room size.
okay. Kika, do you think there's any way that we can get the door behind us sealed before we open this one, so that we don't vent everything that's on the other side of this?
I mean, there's always a way. Put me down. Put me down.
Okay, hold on to something, okay?
I assume there is little, like, I assume everyone's suit has a Magnalock cable on it. Okay, let me assume. Kika's
We're
suit
not-
would have a Maglock cable around the waist. So
We've made
we
the
still
point
have
that there are
gravity.
magnetic
Yeah.
suits.
Yeah, you would
just have
would
to turn them on.
also be able to. Are you saying can you tether yourself to other people?
yes.
Yes, the vac
Yeah.
suit would have a basic lifeline, like tether to another
Yeah.
person, because you would also use it to tether to the exterior of a ship.
Yeah.
If you were doing like a spacewalk
Yeah.
or something.
So I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna shuffle over. I'm probably gonna like move forward and kind of hit my head on the wall and like
To be
shake.
clear, I'm not giving her very much space.
And then I'm
You
gonna.
have leashed her, is what you're saying. Okay.
But Kika's like trying to. It's what it would be like if it was almost complete darkness is what Kika is working with
That's
in
true.
this area. Where she can, whenever she touches it, there's like a little sound, but it's mostly through her like suit.
There
so
is
it's
little to no atmosphere transferring
Yeah.
sound for you.
so it's so hard for her to see. So she's actually like put her ear against the surface as she tries to work through some cables, and she knows that if you just, scratch a certain itch, the door's gonna close like a sneeze.
Yeah. I mean that's a pretty solid analogy. Like you wanna make it spasm.
So
you're trying to close the door into
Yeah.
the docking bay, sealing yourself into this area before opening the other one.
Yes.
Cool.
Ziana, with her significantly greater strength, is going to start trying to is going to start stomping on the floor trying to make some noise
I think it goes
to assist her.
and then I see it. Okay. Do you
Okay.
want to do yours first, then I'll do mine with a penalty?
I mean,
Do
it's
I
not
have
that
to
you
roll to
can't.
stomp?
It's not that you can't stomp. It's that there's no air molecules to bounce the sound around.
It would help with the part where like you're putting anytime you make contact with the surface,
Right,
having
there's-
someone else is transferring sound through it.
Just
Yeah.
trying to displace
that will help.
more
Yeah.
and greater. I don't know how to sound.
No, I totally get it because like
It will help. You'll still be instead of being -2, it'll be a -1.
yeah.
I won't get you to roll. You are large. You can stop.
Oh, I roll 4d6 now.
That's right. You are doing
And I take
fix
2.
and intelligence.
You roll so many dice.
Wait.
Isn't that the OVA die?
Yes.
That was-
No, this one's not.
Okay.
Oh yeah, both of these are.
Is that
15.
Is that boxcars?
Yeah, these
Okay.
are boxers.
Roll boxcars.
I just want to make sure because you have one that the one has. the
Yeah,
other
the
one.
OVA one trips me up all the time.
As you the stomping and you like kind of place your head up against the ground and the vibrations of Ziana's feet as you realize she's just very close to you, essentially pacing around you
I
in
like
a circle.
it. It's very punk rock.
It's unclear if she's helping or just supervising. You hear the sounds go through, and you identify what you think is essentially a nervous cable as opposed to a fluid transfer. And you pop out
Don't
to
squeeze those. You make a
to
mistake
the
once.
and you kind of worm your way in through a section, and you just discharge electricity through it.
Yeah.
And the spasm runs down, the door behind you slams shut, and you are in just the corridor.
Okay. Now we just have to do that
Yeah.
one more time on the other end.
This is great.
Do you want me to carry
I
you?
think she reaches her hand up and
Oh,
is like,
okay.
yeah, it just hooks on one arm, like doesn't bring the other one up as you.
I'm gonna carry my little bat friend to the other side of the corridor and do the whole thing all over again.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me the same fix and intelligence. You will presumably be standing your ground.
I am definitely going to be in front of that doorway.
Give me a strength and exert.
Excellent.
I would like to once per scene do a rerolled skill
Oh.
failed check because that was abysmal.
Okay.
I
So
don't
your
know
goal
where
is
it went.
10, just so you know.
Yeah, I did not get close
Okay.
for some reason.
You rolled 4 dice and didn't get a
I
10.
got 2 3s as my top. So
Woof.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it was not good. They're doing Yahtzees today. Oh, that's not okay.
6. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
I got
They
11.
hate me.
Wait.
I know. The
What are your
one damn
strength?
thing I do well, and I'm sucking at it.
That sucks.
11.
I keep rolling 3 on dice.
Could you change it into a punch instead of
Put
an
him in the
exert, so that
cage.
you-
No,
You know
no,
what? I'm tempted.
no, it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where are you gonna put that,
Gibbet
Claudia? Where are you
gets
gonna put that?
Oh, you got it.
Wow, that was that.
I bet if I didn't move, no one would have found it.
That sounded.
It just reminds
Very
me too
sexual.
much of GGG Bang Bang and how the children were put in cages for liking candy.
Was that a real traumatic experience?
Oh,
for you?
Is it a
oh
casket?
no! Oh
This is
no!
even worse!
It's the boo box.
It is the boo box.
Oh my god, you gotta put little nails in the
Oh,
box so it'll be
wow.
like the trunch bowls. Like,
Oh,
that messed
the
me up as a
chokey?
kid.
yeah, the
chokey?
chokey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next
make it like the
time.
chokey.
That's where the dice go for their eternal slumber to
Going
think
in.
about what they've done.
Put them in the chokey.
Somebody remind me to
Well,
get that.
Kika, with your successful roll, you dig in and you just jam in that electrical charge. Unfortunately, Ziana wasn't maybe as prepared as she thought she was going to be for this brace of air
Just
that is just filling this
Really
corridor.
preoccupied by this conversation you're trying to have with me about feelings that I don't want to process right now.
And both of you are thrown backwards. Kika is thankfully tethered, so actually you're gonna struggle to fly and do anything independently because you have the massive weight of Ziana just blowing you backwards. Both of you, please give me an evasion saving throw.
Is this a D20?
right?
D20.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's my favorite number. Not so good in this situation.
16.
13. Ziana, you manage to, just before you're going to slam into the back wall, the doorway that you just closed, kind of catch yourself. You ungracefully land on the ground, like belly first, and just kind of make those much wind resistance as minimal as you can. Kika, you
Do I glide again? Because then it takes air.
like a fucking kite. Like, you just catch the air And unfortunately, the tether kind of yanks against you, and you still hit against the back door as you catch all of this air. And you take 5 points of damage as you slam
sorry.
against the door.
I'm sorry.
But
my
as the atmosphere
delicate
levels
body
itself,
bends.
you are now able to progress normally through this corridor. Back at the other portion of the ship.
Yeah.
You continue following your sense of where you are supposed to be going. And eventually, you kind of go through some different sections of corridor. The doors seem to open normally, as if there is no damage in these areas. And eventually, you reach a section, and this is kind of where the source came from, but from what you can initially tell just looking around you, it is essentially a functionally normal corridor until you look kind of up, and then along one of the top sections, you see this massive scorch mark. It almost looks like this section of sort of burned tissue, portions of it have been ripped away or shredded as electricity coursed through this section and just completely overwhelmed the circuits that were in there. And that, as you sort of instinctually can tell, is the problem.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Okay. So,
Do I realize it's the problem as well? Or?
it's blackened.
It's blackened. Like, it looks like burned flesh. Like, you can smell a kind of acrid, very metallic sort of note. Like, there are almost bits of ash and kind of dust on the ground. Like, even you get the sense, like, the bioluminescence here is dark. There is no light in this section. It looks injured.
Great.
Okay. Can I I would like to posit. I realize that Seren is a lot larger and this wound is a lot bigger than like a normal human wound would be. She's got a lot more hit points. I would like to posit that I can either commit more effort or like try and heal like multiple times, like committing the effort each time, or torch.
I think let's not do a full torch because
Okay.
torching is
I know.
really bad.
I know.
But I think what this can look like is I kind of want to know what would Rachel's approach to this be, and it will probably look essentially like an extended stay. Like you're going to just be there over this longer period of time.
So that would be committing like several
Yeah.
points of effort. Okay,
I think
so
it would
think-
essentially be, or even just committing the same effort but needing to be in that area for a longer, like committing instead of for a scene, it would be for the day.
Okay.
And you would essentially just be keeping an ongoing heal kind of in this whole section.
So I think it's like we're doing the power walk and we're coming through this section and she's like trying to feel out where she like heard, like metaphysically, biopsionically heard where the pain was coming from, and they get there and the like sense of like direction stops moving her and she looks around and then she looks up and she sees the torch mark on the ceiling, and there's that like, you know when you see like a dog or an animal that's been hurt, and with a human it's like, well, what did they do? Like you're not sure, like you feel bad but like not really, but you see a dog that's been hurt and you're like, I need to help you right now, you precious beast. And so like that is the feeling. Like it's immediately like her face softens from like, we have a task that we have to get to like, oh my god, you poor thing. And she like goes to the nearest wall and like starts like petting it and mumbling, like completely forgetting that Conrad is there. So she's basically like running her fingers along the wall, along the length, because she doesn't need to touch the thing. She has remote repair, but like along the length of the wall,
meditative.
and like mumbling under her breath, like oh you poor thing, like you're gonna be okay. And just like that concern, like the wave of concern just radiates out from her to do the healing.
Conrad,
Meanwhile-
like you're able to kind of something is coming from her, and it
Well, I have the integrity
it's-
field, so like
yeah.
you would be affected if you were injured too, so you could probably still feel that.
I'm meanwhile, I'm like, I see it and I'm like, ugh. Kika took my backpack with all my medical supplies in it.
Trauma patch on it.
That's, and I just sort of noticed this sensation of whatever it is that you're doing.
It's like when you like cuddle up in a warm blanket, but you're a little bit too warm.
Oh,
So
yes.
like it's really it feels nice, but also like a little too much. You know.
Are you doing something to it psionically?
And she like doesn't notice. She doesn't hear it. She's totally like absorbed in.
As you watch, like, very slowly sections of it, and it kind of seems to work from wherever Rachel is standing, sort of outwards. The, like, bits of the sort of charged sections kind of, like, slough off, and there's that sense of, like, that new tissue growth. And it's this kind of very slow process, but
Like if you
see it kind of
you can't
knitting
like
together.
you can't see it, but you look away and you look back, and it's different.
It's like, there's, it, like, you would need to, like, film it and then slow
yeah, it's the
motion
time
it
lapse
down.
of the flower blooming.
As it sort of seems to come together, and section of it until, like, you know, like a bit of flesh like drops on your head, Conrad, and just falls to the side.
It's the dead parts. You know what the dead parts.
Actually, at that point, like, as these bits are falling off, like a small Slurpee is that what you called it? Slurpee would like come and start cleaning it up.
That big Slurpee back in the other hallway, you hit that with psionic energy as well, didn't you?
Tell me how much like
You can still do other things. Like, you can't,
Right.
like, shoot things, but you 100% can choose to ignore him, or, like, you would need to ignore him if you
Right.
don't want to listen to him.
okay. So like the first bit, I'm just like really absorbed in like what I'm doing, and then like you say the second thing, and I look over at you, and I'm like, yeah, and then I like shake my head and like go back to
To a different spot.
yeah, like I'm gonna go over here now.
Does the rest of the crew know?
Yeah, probably.
You know, in Ica, they taught us to be really suspicious of people with psionic powers.
To be clear, this would have been the human branch of the Guardians, because the Angulans are super into psionic powers.
Yeah.
They are very psionic.
Yeah, well, in my family, I wasn't considered psionic at all.
Really?
Yeah, they're all better than I am.
Well, just so you know, I came from kind of a bad place as far as that stuff goes, and it's taken me a while to sort of come around to accepting it as not being the awful thing I was trained that it is.
You know, your growth as a person is really great and interesting, but I'm kind of busy right now.
Okay, well, is this something you're going to be able to take care of? Is there anything you need from me?
And she like realizes that what she just said was like kind of really rude, and so she like takes a breath and she like looks over and she's like, I'll probably be here for a while. If you could bring water or something, I get hungry.
Space Mountain Dew.
I have none of my supplies on me, but
Through all
I'll-
your Mito stickos.
Yeah, all I had were Mito Stickos.
None of that junk
and I-
food, please.
It's not. It's high protein.
But
I
I
wish
say-
it was me.
Okay, I'll see what I can find. And so, based on my knowledge of the ship and where we are, I'm gonna see if I can.
They're actually pretty
if-
close to where the hydroponics were at this point. I don't know if you know where they are, but if you asked around or asked Ari, she'd be like, well, the nearest thing would be this place where Rachel has been growing all of this food.
All right, so I'll duck in there and I'll grab whatever I can in terms of like water, and apparently the mushrooms are really good in there. So.
Yeah.
There's definitely a supply of water in there. It's mostly, it's very humid in that area. Super humid, and you
There's
kind of
like a drip tray.
Yeah, there's like a collection system.
And while I'm doing that, I'm also just generally staking out the area that we're in and like checking out where all of the entrances and exits are, trying to be as prepared as I can should the ship launch any other kind of counterattack against us while we're here.
Okay. Over to the other portion of the ship. as you are now able to make your way through this corridor.
Does Kika just hit the back wall and hit the ground?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you all right? I'll carry you. Don't worry.
I mean, she can't. Oh, wait a second.
There's also air now.
Yeah.
Like, the
Oh, there-
atmosphere has returned. That's what this rush of air was. It was a rush of atmosphere.
And he just. I can do it.
Just makes noises.
Yeah. Doesn't work. There's a screen.
I'm a little worried about your head. Just gonna
It's
pick
fine.
you up like a baby. At least it
Cock,
didn't
cock, cock, cock.
pick you up like a cat. I don't know. And carry on forward.
You head into kind of the next section, and you go one section further. And in a similar sort of way, you don't see as clear of like this section has been destroyed, but the lights in this area, like as you go further in, they like flicker, and they seem to like do these strange kind of pulsing patterns that are clearly like randomized shots of this bioluminescent energy. Whew, that was hard. Kind of trailing its way through this section. And you get a pretty clear idea that you are, you would know, Kika, that this is relatively close to one of the sort of nodes that Cha-Cha installed for the thread drive.
Oh, okay. And I assume I watched. Because it is very important to me.
Yeah, you probably, like, you've spent enough time on this ship that you were able to get Cha-Cha to show you where all of the quasi-cybernetics were installed.
Like, I might not know how to connect veins to, like, the neurosystem, but, like...
I mean, you were pretty mad about her being the one to install it, so
Super mad about it.
you might have been there to supervise.
They did not understand how to use everything that I...
Mad is the word.
They were approaching this like a surgeon, not an engineer.
Mad
But
is definitely the word.
Just walks up and be like, this! Or we're close, right?
Yeah, you enter through kind of into a room, sort of offshoot. And in there, there are sections that have clearly been installed, sort of pieces where you can see like the connections. Give me actually in this case, it'd probably be Fix and Wisdom.
Oh.
See what's broken.
Really
Perfect
good.
and
At,
intelligence.
oh my goodness, I got 3 threes. It's Yahtzee.
That's a thing, right?
I just got
Yeah.
4 fours.
Ooh.
It's pretty good.
8.
It's not how this system works, but it's
9.
great.
I have 9.
Is that with Wisdom or with Intelligence?
They are the same for me.
Okay then.
I do not have to think whether I need to be smart or wise.
Interesting.
Yes.
As you're kind of looking around, it takes sort of a moment, and then just a cable that is connecting a section, it just sort of sparks, and just flings down and smacks you in the face.
I found the problem.
Okay. Is the problem the thing now in your face?
Yeah. Oh. It's like.
Don't worry, it hit your helmet.
Do you
Yeah.
There's like a
do you
smear.
do you require assistance?
You're not really sure what kind of fluid on your
I can't
visor.
smell. Okay. Yes. Can you hold this really wet? Is it wet? Is it like just like starts feeling it? Is it wet?
Yeah, she just starts
Feeling
feeling
it.
the thing.
I don't understand the problem.
How are we fixing this?
I want to know if it's
She's just stroking it up and
Ziana
down.
grabs it aggressively.
Ooh. I don't like that.
Holds it really tightly.
Ah.
Gives it a slight drink. Is this what we need?
Yeah. Can you just hold that up, please? And like climbs on. I think her like little feeties, which are the curved little feet, are on your helmet. And one's on your shoulder, one's on your helmet, as she's like trying to connect them from atop.
So essentially, as you get up there, you can tell that several of the like sections from the ship, the sort of the biological portion of the ship, have been disconnected from the mechanical components, and there are a number that have been overloaded.
Oh, this is bad.
So you will need to either rig around or replace sections, and it might take a little bit of time. What will Kiko's approach / Ziana's approach be besides
Oh, Lord.
firm gripping and tugging towards her?
Well, if you keep pulling on it, it's not gonna fix the problem.
What will fix the problem?
Well,
And try
Did
not
you-
to make it a euphemism for anything.
did you ever watch that cartoon? Maybe it wasn't in your arm of the district or of the galaxy, but it was a radio program where it was like somebody had their entire
It wasn't
body.
actually a radio program, it was a TV show, but Kiko could never see it.
And so they replaced all their arteries with like plastic tubing, and then they used heat on it to constrict it, and then they died. Yeah, we're gonna do the part with the heat, but without the dying part.
We didn't get Ica networks.
Yeah, neither did we.
when I was growing up.
Did you get TV, radio, and like she's probably taking out? I assume I have a bunch of. There's
Red
probably
wires?
yeah, red wires, and we're gonna like connect the electrical doodads of the syringe to the electrical doodads
Your
of.
TV, radio, the psychic network, you know?
No, none of that.
What did you do as a kid?
No, I'm pretty
I
sure
trained.
Trico's never actually had TVs, but they were listening to TV shows, and like that they call it radio.
I trained as a child
Like in what?
in combat.
I can't. I'm like hitting the helmet.
Oh.
Starts. There's probably like a flame tool that she's just burning the plastic metal
It's like
to it.
cauterizing them together.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
I don't enjoy
It
the
doesn't
sound
smell
of that.
good.
It smells bad.
Well, we don't have
Yeah, you can't
oxygen
smell.
intake.
that's true. That's true.
There's probably some amount of slight growling from Sarin, but like you gotta growl before you can purr.
I don't think anyone says that, Kika.
I disagree. I say it. I'm me. I'm important. I could be a single independent woman. I know others who could be a single independent woman, though we're not talking about it right now.
I'm not single, Kika.
Please roll me ethics and intelligence. As you are, I think, standing on Ziana's shoulders.
Yeah, I'm really afraid of making her upset now, I think.
Keep insinuating my
13.
relationship is over. You might not be.
As you're sort of shuddering from her anger, you
Oh, is that Yahtzee?
reconnect the portions of Sarin. It takes a little while. You're here for some time, kind of finding each individual cable. Any of the ones that were damaged, you kind of have to reroute.
Yeah.
There's a couple that you sort of end up like doing some weird double routing where you're like, eh. It's a little jerry-rigged, but it should hold.
That's
for,
most of my life.
as long as you are able to come back here at some point after the rest of the trip, you think that it will hold for long enough.
And then Kika just kind of falls onto your helmet.
God, Kika,
After this, we're finding her.
she's not lost.
Yeah, but we're gonna go on our tour and like just like this. And I know it's gonna cost a lot of money on your ship and the fuel and stuff, but like, that's what we'll do. Cause she's important to you.
She's busy trying to save the galaxy. We're busy trying to save the galaxy.
And once we save the galaxy,
Then we will go pick her up.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, clearly.
It's a lots of really intense to-do list.
I mean, you know, just one or two things. Look, she's
It's one big
she's
check
doing
mark
something
on the
that's
list.
very important that she's very well suited to, and I don't want to stand in the way of that. I'm the one who told her, like an idiot, that she should go and do it, and that is fine, and I am fine with that, and I don't know why you keep acting as though I'm not fine with that, because I am clearly totally fine with it.
Tug at one of the cables that Kika's done with. There is a splattering of strange fluids that land on you just as you, and I am totally fine with it.
Gross.
All I'm saying is that I just want you to be happy.
I am happy.
You don't,
This is happy.
Come to dinner then.
I like eating alone.
And I like when you kind of roll your eyes when Thea makes a tasteless joke.
Which is always. You are constantly rolling your eyes.
Will it?
I miss you.
I'm right here. I'll come to dinner.
With that, you can make your way back. Eventually, Ari will let you know that the docking, or you'll be able to tell the docking bay doors will close and they'll slowly begin repressurizing those areas. It will take some time. There's sort of a warning of like, don't immediately go there because the ship sort of has to reproduce oxygen to fill those areas. It's sort of a slow process. As you are connecting with Surin, and sort of watching this kind of section, every time you look at it, a different portion of it appears to kind of healed over. It has this sort of randomized quality to it. It sort of seems to move where you are, but it also kind of like patch heals in areas.
I feel like after a certain bit, I get into a little bit of like a meditative state, and
Like
then
nap
probably
time.
like when I'm done, I just fall asleep on the floor of the hallway.
You also get this feeling that like at some point the ship is kind of able, Surin is kind of able almost to kickstart it. Like you sort of gave it that push to focus the energy into that area.
Right.
And it's like there is a strange connection that's going to hold between you while that effort is committed.
Uh-huh.
And that sense that even if you leave that area, the Surin's still going to be drawing something from you
Right.
to kind of maintain that healing. And you are like, there is a fatigue that's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's nap time.
Nap time.
It's very nap time.
While you've been doing that, I've just been kind of like sitting in the corner, and I'm just like got my arm out, and I'm just like doing this a lot and trying to see what'll happen. And like sometimes my hand retracts and like a grappling hook comes out, and other times it's like a whisk or something like that, and I'm just trying to like figure out what's going on with that while I wait, basically.
It's like at one point like all of your fingers sort of dislodge and then become
Yeah.
like this weird like strange kind
I'm
of
like, you're maybe distracted for a moment when I just go like, ah, or something like
like
that.
his hand isn't a hand and then it goes back to being a hand.
At one point, all your fingers turn into like smaller hands with other
Yeah,
fingers,
yeah,
like
like
the
this.
like the Akira. Was it Akira? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, you guys just
And like when that happens, I decide I'm done, and I just like put it away.
Oh, Ghost in the Shell?
Is it Ghost in the
Could've sworn
Shell?
they did it in Akira too, but anyway.
yeah, there's where your fingers turn into smaller hands and there's it's
Little
like
hands at the end, little
fractalizing.
hands at the end. Ah,
Nope.
infinite hands.
Think about how many things you could hold.
They're all really
I mean, pretty much the same amount.
No, because you have lots of little hands. You'd be like, this flea and this flea and this crumb, and then all of them. How many chips could you scoop? All the crumbs, and then you could just drop them all into.
After some time, Ari will communicate to all of you that it looks like the repairs have taken effect, and they need Surin needs a little bit more time to kind of readjust, but the systems are normalizing, and they should be able to make the next thread jump. There's a section kind of closer nearby. There's a nebula, so they will take this as an opportunity to refuel before we head into thread space and jump to the next sector. So there'll be a little bit of time for all of you to kind of reconvene yourself to take a very long nap,
Dinner.
to have dinner.
Dinner.
I think I legitimately though like fall asleep in the hallway.
Oh yeah, no, you probably
Yeah, so-
like just after
Like I'm
your
sitting there
hand is
meditating
fermenting.
and like just feeding energy to Surin, and then after a while I like lean back against the wall and then just like fall.
So the moment that happens, I'll like go into Ica training first aid mode, and I'll be like, what? And
And then you hear a little
Oh.
tiny like snore.
and then I'll be like, okay, she's not dead. But I'll check in with Ari, and because I don't know if you need to stay here or not at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
I think at that point Ari will be like, it seems to be. That's when she comes over and says it's the effects are taking hold, and you can all like thank you for everything. Surin can take it from here.
So I kind of like pause for a moment, and then I sort of shrug, and I gently.
I'm probably completely out.
Rachel up.
Like
You definitely are experiencing like the perspective in your dreams, like you are in space. Like you are essentially Sarin. Like you are a giant ship like floating through space like
Rad.
into a nebula.
Coolest
like,
dreams ever.
It's very vivid, and it's unclear whether or not it's like you're living through Sarin for a moment or just that you're having a strange dream.
Okay, cool. But I'm completely out. Like imagine the most like physical activity you've done in a day, and then you just like zonk out. It's like even more than that.
So I'll probably like firefighter carry you back to the
Get to your room on the Batleth.
Yeah, back to the Batleth.
You get back, and if you try and go in to check on Thea, Oxana will be like, I have disabled gravity in the cargo bay, Captain.
Oksana, why would you do that? She needs to hang upside
She needs to
down.
hang upside down. The blood then gets to her.
Contrary to Trico science, I did some quick searching through the portions of my database that have been downloaded and stored permanently aboard this ship, and it turns out a large amount of blood to human brains is, in fact, not good.
No, but the heart
Captain,
works
I
better
cared
upside
about
down.
what happened to Thea. I don't know why.
I'm so sorry, Oksana.
Why do I feel like this, Captain?
It's
Oh no.
unfortunately, it's kind of part of being around people
It would
for
have
a
been
long
so much
time.
funnier to watch her face turn red, but instead I felt bad.
Yeah.
What?
Sometimes feelings are inconvenient.
Anyway, I disabled gravity.
Okay,
At some point, I will, since my
Your bump's
my,
in
my
there.
companion cube or whatever it is, my copulation cube is in the cargo bay. I'll probably
Conrad
head
comes
down
in
there,
with like
see
an unconscious
see
Rachel.
Thea. Yeah, so after like depositing Rachel safely onto her bed,
Do you
I'll-
like tell them that I'm fine, I'm just sleeping, or do you just carry unconscious person into the ship?
What happened?
she used her psionic abilities to heal the ship, and she passed out from it.
See, everyone's being honest with themselves. I like this.
is she unconscious?
You hear a little like
Oh,
She's fine.
that's
Just
a
like-
normal human sound, right?
It is.
Yes.
just like the
It is an
upside.
obnoxious human sound, Captain.
Sometimes it's cute.
Yes.
I'll-
We'll
I'll-
just
sure you
no.
told Hexy that.
You know what? We're not going to talk about this as she is pulling.
I'm not dead yet.
As she's pulling Thea down from where she hung her from the sand.
Yeah, I will probably, if you don't pull Thea down, I will at some point go and save Thea.
No. Like now that Ziana knows, like, oh crap, this is a bad thing. It's like no one tell Thea that I did this, and she's pulling Thea down from the salmon ladder.
And I'll be like, Kika, I need my backpack.
What?
My backpack. You took it from me.
No.
Yes, you
No.
did. When I gave you that model train, you took my backpack. I need it. It has my equipment in it.
No, it's
Thea
mine.
needs. No, it's not yours. That's not. I
You
know.
gave me the bag with the train.
Don't pretend that Tricos have some weird other notion of property than other species.
What's in the backpack?
Trains.
It's all of my equipment that I take with me on the field. I have my first aid kit in there. I was gonna use it for Thea. She's got.
Oh.
Oh,
She's got
Was
a-
it red?
my backpack.
It
no.
was a red?
The backpack is.
You gave me a red backpack.
I did not give you. You can't see color.
It's red.
she can feel that it's red.
I think that's where we're gonna take our break through this because this conversation is gonna
Just
very
taking her down, just
cynical.
laying her down. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody saw it.
We're gonna take a little bit of a shorter break.
Do I have to roll to see if I ever get my backpack back?
You get it
Okay.
back,
We'll
probably.
talk about it. You get a backpack back,
Yeah.
Here's your red one back.
and it is red, and you
It's-
don't know why it's
Is it
red
gonna be like
now.
my
Or
arm
how she
unsurprised by what I
knew.
find in it every time I
Maybe.
go into it?
Maybe.
You
Depends
have
on what-
5 uses of adventuring gear?
I am going to read out our donations that came through in the first half. Thank you so much for all of those. We're going to take a very short break. We will come back. We will resume this episode. We will be ending slightly early because there are firework explosions in the sky. Some of us are going to go see. All right, yeah. Not ears. The first one that came through is from Evelyn Rivka with $5.68. 1, love you all. 2, love you all. 3, gotta make the number end properly on screen. Thank you, Evie.
Thank you.
William _TW with $15. So many feels in the last episode. It was awesome and science. Great to see you back, Lizzie.
Thank you.
It's good. There were no
Thanks,
feelings.
William.
I don't know what you're talking about,
No
William.
feelings.
No
There's
feelings.
never any feelings on this show.
Evelyn bought Rivka with $5.91. Okay, I can do math. Something. Dan, please don't do anything related to this number while dressed like that. Less than 3. I don't know what the number was.
Was it a
69.
nice
It was
number?
69.
It was probably
Nice
like
number.
13.
Ooh, unlucky. Don't do anything unlucky.
No.
Mythalian with $10 to boldly go into bowels no one has gone to before. Maybe. It's not the bowels of the ship. These are normal corridors.
People call normal corridors the bowels of the ship
fair.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, on
It's
ships
fine,
that
it'll
don't
be fine.
actually have bowels, unlike our ship.
Yeah. William _TW with $11. Don't mind me, just fixing the number. Pumpkin with $14.28. Phasers set to scare. And then another pumpkin with $14.28. I love Kika's mothering advice so much. And then she got mothered. And another pumpkin with $14.28. Well, that hand motion was there, and then the realization went even further.
It was fine.
And Anon with $25. New month sub! Thank you for producing all the great RP content each week. GeekSpace TV. Thank you, Anon.
Thanks.
We are going to take a quick break. In the meantime, enjoy some fan art, and then we will see you again for the second half of Leviathan, Distant Stars.
Bye, guys.
announce it because there was a countdown, so I had to keep all the anime in, and that's what happens.
So my favorite thing that I have learned, I'm gonna just share a brief story about Claudia, is that for some reason Claudia has like a sixth sense that when there's about 10 seconds before we're about to go live or like back from a break, she suddenly has to talk about anime. Guaranteed almost every time. And it's one of my favorite things that you do. Like, I don't know how you can sense it, but you're like, it's anime time.
It's a pretty niche superpower.
It is. It is.
In other announcements,
Am I allowed to talk
this
about
is
it?
the only amount of M&Ms I have left from my blue M&M.
What?
Impressive.
So will you
Oh,
be
and now that's
leaving
one
us
left.
shortly?
Until Lauren
Until
goes
I
back
can
to
go
British.
back to England
I'm leaving you
No.
in approximately 8 M&Ms.
Well, let's wrap this show fast. Hello and welcome back. You are watching GeekSpaceTV. If you are new here, we are a non-profit broadcasting studio based in the Seattle area, working to promote and increase diversity and inclusion within gaming and geek spaces. And tonight we are playing Leviathan Distant Stars, a space opera-style RPG using a homebrew of the Stars Without Number system. And so far, the crew has been doing great. They have solved a problem.
We solved a problem. We
solved
solved more
two
problems than we
problems.
created.
I'm sorry, 3D Mike.
And the internet will now shudder. If you would like, that reminds me of a thing I should have announced at the beginning of the show. We are also broadcasting this in 360. So if you want to either watch the whole episode or just see what it looks like in 360, we are over on Periscope. I genuinely recommend it. It's really cool. You can look around the whole space. You can see the people lurking in the background.
You can see Nadja.
You can see Nadja, and you
Yeah.
can see there was an AJ earlier, and there's an Anna. So
You can see my
You can find
dope
Waldo.
new iPad.
the dope new
It's
iPad.
really cool. I've wanted to steal it, but I know that stealing is bad.
And you're not Thea. You're soup's dope.
Next week it'll be gone
So,
because she'll be back.
oh yeah.
Stealing.
You won't trust it. So, hello and welcome. We're going to jump pretty much right back into the action. In the first half, the crew repaired a couple of portions on their living ship that they are currently on that was in need of repair, and it's now doing much better. I think, yes, you're right, you solved two problems and you only caused one, which was hanging one of your crew members upside down.
We're in the black.
Because, yeah, you're in the black. Because,
Do I get a gold star?
You all get gold stars.
Even
All of you
us?
get gold stars. Well, you're
One
you're
gold
a net,
star to
you're net
split
zero.
between.
We get half a gold star each.
Yeah.
So we'll combine it.
You get
for
one gold
whole
star
gold
between the
star.
two of you. You get one each. We'll put that
I'm a strong, independent, gold star owning woman.
on our gold
I'm
star
Conrad.
sticker chart.
Wait, we actually have a sticker chart?
do
I
you-
need to talk.
We don't.
Like,
We're going to.
Yeah.
I guess we will now.
Yeah.
I made a commitment.
But
and-
only if we get enough patrons to afford gold star stickers. Real gold. Oh.
real gold.
Gold
Real
leaf.
stickers.
Real stickers. Speaking of which, we do have a Patreon that you can go support us. We also, if you would like to support us directly during the show, we'll be reading out the donations at the end of it. We're going to wrap up relatively soon. We're cutting today's episode a little bit early. We normally go for about another hour. Probably only go for about 30 more minutes. So, we find ourselves on probably the Batleth in the docking bay of Sarin. You are heading to a nebula. Sarin will refuel, eat, prior to jumping back into thread space and heading to the sector where the rays are from. Is there anything in particular besides napping that any of you would like to do?
Side quest, is that what we're saying?
No, you've already passed that.
Oh, damn,
Yeah, no,
okay.
that was last episode. You got the little pop-up that said you need to complete all side quests because they will no longer be available for the rest of this until you complete the final mission. Sorry, my bad. No, this is like you can complete. These are ship quests. Like if there's any like ship based.
you mean we're gonna have dinner?
Yeah, crew missions.
Crew dinner.
I'm sleeping.
No! You're not anymore.
Jesus.
I just expended like all of my biopsionic effort. I don't know if you understand what that means.
How
Very
long will we be
But it's,
traveling?
I don't think she
really
cares
You
about
where
it.
we
important.
dropped out of thread space to our
We
end
have at least
destination.
another week.
So then there is definitely time for Rachel to rest up fully.
No, I'm in
and
a
then-
coma.
Oh,
I
and then
can't attend
join
to that.
us Because if Ziana has to be at a fucking family dinner.
So presumably nothing major will happen before
No.
you head back into thread space. All of you kind of get that lurch as the ship heads back into the sort of extra dimensional space that it's going to travel through. You have about another week and a half before you get there. I assume this is basically what happens is like Rachel's like, I'm in a coma, and just like says that through the door.
Yes.
This is actively a conversation
Yes,
that's
that was
being
actively
had.
wait.
happening.
I'm sorry. Are you sleeping on the batleth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in Hexy's room.
Okay. No, actually,
No,
she's
I'm
in
in Thea's old.
You're in Thea's old room. Thea
which
is
you
in
know what
Hexy's
that
old room.
means.
Yes.
There is one air vent that is a little bit weaker than the rest of them. So
Are you saying you
Kiki
can
do?
get in my room
I'm saying Kika, even if you lock it, it's gonna be on your bed.
when I wake up? Or are you just there?
No, I think
That's
there's
creepy.
I think there's gonna be like
creepy.
Kika's just like, may I borrow you for a second?
For what purpose?
Hey, hey, and that's just what's happening. I'm like, hey.
What?
To clarify,
Get
Ziana
off
did
of
not
me.
break into
No,
someone
no.
else's room.
Family dinner. Sorry,
My
you don't want to
family
be
is
included in the
really
family.
Far away.
Crew dinner.
I.
Last stop dinner.
What's for dinner?
I don't know yet. We're cooking it together.
If you have
from
absolutely
outside the
nothing
door.
to do with the cooking of dinner.
I mean, we all are going to
No,
take part.
No.
You are gonna bring your what do they call them?
Soylent.
Soylent? No. What are the things that you're growing? It's like
the
they're big. They're umbrellas. Space umbrellas.
Mushroom.
Yeah, bring those. I ate one, not on accident.
Just to clarify.
She was trying to fix it.
And then like I think Rachel was like, I'm not hungry, and then her stomach's like
I'm in a coma.
We're going. Breakfast. No, wait. Dinner. Wait. What time is? I don't. There's no sun.
Bang, bang, bang.
What?
Rachel, I'm being made to join them for dinner, so you are being made to join them for dinner. Let's go.
Okay.
Good. Turn. Stomp, 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 stomp. Off to the
Can
galley.
you get
Can
out?
you lift me up to the air vent? You
Oh my
took down
God.
the climbing boxes. We put those away. I need to get to Conrad's room.
And I go,
Oh, good.
I get out of bed and I open the door.
Oh, okay. And like, there's like some scuttling.
Kika's ears just sort of droop. Kika hasn't used doors in a while.
Because you know why? The doors go.
Yeah, they're
The-
kind of like a roll to the
The
side.
parts
yeah.
need to be used for something
Important
else.
Question: was Kika working on her project, or is she going to be working on her project?
Yes,
Okay.
but I definitely
After
know
dinner.
that in any time that she has, she's supposed to make sure that the ship is battle ready, the Batleth is battle ready, and the mini one, the Kuthra, is
Kuthra
battle
is
ready.
battle
So
ready.
after those two, I get to work on my side projects.
Conveniently, you did replace the missing escape pod the
Uh-huh.
last time. I think essentially you pooled all the money you earned from Cha-Cha as a good chunk of it to replace and get a slightly used
Oh yeah, you paid for that.
escape pod.
So basically, between all of the money that I gave to the captives that we freed
Yeah.
and the money for the Kuthra, all of my money is gone.
Well, we used our money too. Like, remember that part of
Oh, good.
our
So
money.
we're all broke.
We're all broke except for somebody.
I bought body armor.
You all have enough for like basic food expenses, but a lot of that was used to stock the ship.
Like,
prior
they're
to leaving.
vegetable.
Like everyone pays a contribution to like
actual
paying for food to be on the
vegetables.
ship,
Yeah,
but
like-
otherwise, yeah, you kind of broke.
Like Brocco flour.
I mean,
You got a good deal though.
this is a really familiar sensation to me.
Yeah.
I'm used to being broke.
Squish
So.
squash.
I think Rachel probably managed to get a pretty solid deal on a slightly used
I
escape
got
pod.
connections. I got hoes in all different area codes, alright?
That's good. That's good.
Is Conrad coming to dinner, or do I have to go up to his room?
Conrad comes to dinner.
Ariuta has also been
Henchkeeper
invited.
Nasha.
Was she? How was she
Demanded.
invited?
Meep meep. Coming
Hello?
to dinner?
I wasn't planning?
You need to.
Oh,
I'm
Meep meep,
purposefully-
Aryuta, there's a crew dinner.
Meep meep, Aryuta, I don't know if you've heard yet, but there's gonna be a dinner.
I'm coming! Please stop talking. Okay. Meep, meep. Kika.
Oh, is this it? Wait, are
Beep,
we?
beep.
beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
It's important.
Did you invite Oksana?
Oh, I like that. Slam on the side of a wall.
Smack the wall.
Oksana.
No, you had not invited me. I didn't think I was allowed to come.
No,
to
I
dinner.
definitely want you there. I just assume you're always gonna be there.
But it's nice to be invited.
Well, Oksana, I would formally like to invite you to watch us eat food.
Oh, Jesus.
I will take great delight in eating nothing you have made.
But I heard that. Would you like me to download audio clips of eating?
Why don't you just give her a little power boost or something?
That's what she would. No. I think I will be able to sustain myself quite well.
Okay.
What if you like cleaned out the ship's like power?
She doesn't like it
conduits?
if I surprise her with projects anymore.
Yes, thank you for telling me
Anymore.
about the project that you are
Yeah.
not making.
Are you anywhere where I can hear this?
This is on like
over
loudspeakers.
comm?
or
Like,
something.
wait,
Like, this is
project?
This
Project?
is probably just in the corridor that they're in.
Yeah.
I don't think you hear it.
I mean, you see a big ring being formed. And by the way,
You know she's
the
doing
ring now
something.
has more stronger, they're like metal arms that hold it, but they're secure. Supports. There's more support.
To attach it to the wall.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, it's-
really supported.
It's very bolted in, almost as if it could sustain a large amount of torque.
Yeah. But everything's
Oh.
fine.
Sheer forces.
Oh, and it also added a little ramp on the bottom so you don't trip over the ring. You're welcome.
I don't know what she's writing down, but it can't be good for Kika. Okay, so you all go into.
I go to the hydroponics area that I've set up and pick some of the stuff,
the ripest.
the ripest things, mushroom-like objects.
Ari might actually at this point she's just like, I am coming to dinner. These ones are good, and she like helps you sort of collect it. And there's like one, oh, you got, and she looks very excited. She goes back and like pulls out, and there's this kind of strange-looking thing that you think might be a flower, but it's got like kind of almost inside-out sort of appearance to it. But she seems very excited about it. She's like, I haven't had these long time, many years.
I just whatever was around.
You're very good at this.
It's nice to be interacting with Seren in this way.
I could tell you did something. It was impressive. You would make an excellent part of any Leviathan crew.
You mean there are others that aren't?
There used to be. I can only hope that maybe there still are, but I don't know. We left when the war was almost over and we weren't winning. I'm sorry your family don't think you're important.
It's fine, I'm used to it. If they did think I was important, then I wouldn't be here. So
She sort of shrugs like, I think you're important. I'm glad you're here. I wouldn't still be alive if you weren't. We would be likely floating in space until we die.
well, we wouldn't want that.
Thank you for staying. I don't know why you did, but thank you.
Sometimes things just work out. Or don't. Anyway, dinner.
I'm sure it will be delicious. I've never had their food before.
Don't eat it.
Oh. What?
It's
So,
really bad.
is this dinner happening like later in the week then? I
Yeah,
guess?
yeah, it'll be a few days
So
in.
before that, I think just while Ari has been piloting Surin, very frequently Conrad is just up on the bridge, and it's under the pretense of he's like Slurpee has just been hanging out on the bridge, and he's like feeding Mito Stickos to it. But he's also kind of like maybe passive aggressively like just sort of co-piloting ever since the thread spike that nearly got everyone killed.
I was wondering what you were gonna do about that. After the first day, she kind of ignores you. The second day, she watches you. Just sort of looks at you while you're there.
And Conrad pretty much pretends that he's not being watched, and he's not like trying to take over what Ari's doing or anything like that. He's working on like just a separate console and humming to himself while just like making sure everything is still on track with
The third day, when you're there, she just sort of comes over and she sort of like looks at whatever you're doing on the console, and then she looks at you. If this was a hive mind, I would have had to force you to pilot. But clearly you still have self-will to be an ass. And then she walks away.
I mean, if we're going to go down that rabbit hole, a hive
What?
mind could convince me that I was that I would need to be an ass in order to
Get your way? Were not taught any manners by your parents?
well, in a way, I was only taught manners.
And those
Look,
manners were...
I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying
Well,
to.
you've
help
done
out.
that.
Well, I'm sorry for offending you.
Are you?
Well, yes.
Are
I'm
you
just
just-
trying to make sure that we're safe. It's all I'm doing.
I appreciate your concern, and you're right, I am probably not as good of a pilot as you, but I wouldn't force you to do something you weren't comfortable with. I don't think you understand what it means to pilot this ship. And you clearly can't trust me enough, so I wouldn't ask you to do that.
All right. It's not a competition. I'm not trying to.
You're probably better than me at this, but you are unwilling to do what you would need to do.
I don't know what that means, but I will say I will do whatever it takes to see this mission through. And I hope, even if you aren't okay with the way I've behaved, you can understand that I am loyal to making sure we get this ship and get you to that laboratory and seeing this threat nullified.
Okay. Then why don't you take the next shift after dinner?
Well, after dinner, I was going to spend some time working on, well, okay, sure.
So what happened? Are you missing an...
Oh, this? No, I just had an appointment with my ophthalmologist before going on the last mission, and they had to correct an astigmatism. I could probably take it off by now, actually. I just wasn't supposed to look out of it for 48 hours, and it's been 2 weeks. So.
Wait. You know what? Never mind. That's fine. That's fine.
Clearly you are a talented medic. I hope you are as good of a pilot as you are at following doctor's orders.
I'm a great pilot. You know, we have a song that we sing.
I
back
know.
here.
I have heard it
Okay.
over and over and over and over in my head.
Well, I hope it's been as helpful to you as it has.
It's been
to-
something. I will show you how to pilot Sarin. And then maybe you'll understand.
All right.
You have to cut off your foot.
It involves
I give my left arm.
a chainsaw goes in the background.
First, you must rip
Fade
your
to red.
heart from your chest.
Fade to the cut to the canteen on the Batlath, and there is a scene before you. Please, Kika, Claudia.
I refuse to let Kika touch the food.
Like,
She
be a
keeps trying to
picture.
put powders on things.
I
I'm like,
just-
no.
Just like gelatin.
We've explained that it's a very thin kitchen. So think of instead of like
It's a galley kitchen.
Yeah, it's more like a rectangle that's got shelves and cabinets on
Essentially
top.
like a table and then like two sides of a galley kitchen.
And so there's one side that the end is just the cooking part, and Kika keeps like climbing from counter like on the cabinets, trying to be like, but this,
That's unhygienic.
but this.
No.
And when you say it's
Freaking
hard,
rails on the ceiling.
yeah, and when you say that I'd had like, no, it's not.
Don't flick it and then put your fingers in the food.
While this is happening, Ziana has very aggressively sequestered a little section by what is essentially a makeshift grill with a bit of actual meat that they bought because they could all die. So before they left, Ziana was like, I'm going to have actual food.
Yeah.
And some actual vegetables. This is literally
I
all
wait.
we've had.
I said that we bought some real food.
Wait.
Okay, yeah.
Until
Wait.
it goes bad, at least we have some.
Yeah.
What it?
And she's grilling it,
What is
which
that?
she is the one thing that she's really good at.
got-
And
he
off
got
to the
stabbed.
side, looks at Conrad and says, "So it was just for an eye appointment?"
Yeah. I mean, I was an Ica soldier. You have to have good eyesight if you're going to be in combat.
Thought you lost an eye.
Oh, God, no.
Is your hand just for a hand appointment?
No, I don't know what's up with that.
It like turns into like a spatula,
Yeah.
like in response to the meat smell, and then like tongs, and then a hand. One of the things
Kika,
that you would
I
actually
swear to dog. if
I
you-
just want to taste. I want like.
And I like take a little bit of like chopped up mushroom and I like shove it in your mouth and then push you away like
So
a
her-
little bit
her-
with my hands
yeah.
and a little bit with my head.
Her mouth is kind of like a dog mouth, so like it's one of those like tongue just rolls out and takes the mushroom and scurries away.
I also want to put it like when Conrad's hand changes shape, like there's a portion of it that appears almost like kind of the sort of like a plate's moving, but it's surprisingly fluid. It's like almost a sort of a semi solid like substance, like retaking a shape. So it's not like machinery parts coming out. It's
Oh.
not like this item is appearing. It's like it's converting itself into shapes.
So, okay, Claudia, it has been a season and a half that we've been together and on this show and that you have been playing Kika, and so I think it's time that we answered the question. Is Kika the dog kind of bat or the like squished face, like
She's the dog
upturned nose kind of
Okay,
bat?
this is a really good question, and it's she's got a kind of doggy nose, but then she has a really big nose, or so like
both. It's
yeah,
Like a
Right.
really
so-
big like nose pad, but like a bit of a muzzle.
Yeah, there's
Like
definitely
a
a
short
muzzle,
muzzle.
because her back teeth are actually what she like. If you give her like a walnut, she'll crack it with her back teeth. And so she's got
Can we please give her a walnut?
so she's got like a tongue that can like slurp up her nose if she needs to, but like it's
In her nostril.
yeah, and then she's got like a lot of back teeth, so it is one of those long nosy things.
Okay,
But
I needed to know.
No,
That's
great.
that's
the,
fair.
The range of Trico is really dependent on where they're like in what forest they're indigenous to on the planet of Dracocana. So there
Okay.
are like if you go more north where there's more like pine trees, you
You can stop
get
with
more
the
like
phone.
woodpecker nose.
Here's
We're
the
good, we're
question. What do Ziana and I need to roll to know how well we cook this dinner?
Oh,
That is a good question. I think it's probably wisdom.
Okay.
And then I would say
Why?
either sorry.
Can I get a bonus for being like
For being
of a warrior race where we grill things?
way to stereotype.
Can I use
They're
lead
carnivores.
to like head chef this?
Yeah. I will allow lead and,
Okay.
and wisdom. For what do you think Ziana's approach to grilling is? Do you just like slap them?
You,
Fire's hot.
you get the grill hot, and then she puts things onto the grill until the color of them changes,
That's
and you
wisdom.
get like a nice
Oh,
sear.
yeah. Yeah, that's
and then
wisdom.
she flips it. She does it on the same side, and then she takes it off.
Is
It's probably wisdom.
is this like a
and no.
George Foreman, or is it like?
No, it's
Do we
it's
have
like
to worry
a.
about like?
It's definitely something Kika
Is
put
there, like, a
together.
fume
Like
hood?
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Like you were like, don't
So it's
use
fire.
chemical fire.
Oh, it's fire.
So
yeah.
I got a lot of flammable things and then made it into a tight ball so it keeps hot. So there's no
Okay.
chemicals in it, but it's hot.
what am I rolling?
It's gonna be wisdom and no, I think.
8.
Okay. Kika is definitely gonna play a role in this dinner. Kika, go ahead and roll me wisdom and no.
Could you assist?
Yeah. Okay, so when you're not looking, Kika's like, more nutrition. And so she like goes and in the back there's like a vitamin Kel. Which is like
It's a combination of vitamins K, E, and L.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes
Essential nutrients for humans.
and it's the wrapper had rolled, you know, like how in the Emperor's New Groove, and it was supposed to be like certain flavor, but I didn't see that because it was rolled up. It definitely was like a flavor of yours is a savory dish, right?
It's like earthy.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
like pineapple flavored.
It's yeah.
It's
yeah,
just a little bit tangy where it shouldn't be tangy.
Okay. Well, you roll wisdom and no.
Oh,
Can I roll to not fuck this
No,
up
I'll just
with
take
my
that. Actually,
arm?
we'll just say that's what she adds in. That's why yours wasn't as successful as it could have been.
Okay.
but
I mean, no. Maybe it makes it better. Why don't you roll?
I was
There are tenderizing properties to the enzymes.
Yeah,
in
that's why I'm
pineapple.
saying you
Oh,
should
that's
roll
true.
so
That's
that we
true.
know if
Okay.
it makes it better or if it does.
I mean, if it
not.
doesn't, Kika also has alcohol. I'm
Is that a 6 or a
no, it's a 1.
Why did you?
I wanted to pull it. Wisdom and no?
Yeah,
use your
9.
9. It doesn't make it worse. Okay, but it doesn't make it better.
It's definitely like one of those, oh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ziana.
I rolled an 8.
And we all got around the same. It's
To me,
fine.
like, some of it is a little bit overcooked and some of it's undercooked. The hard part is you can't really tell which one's
So when
which.
you cut, you're like,
Well, Ziana is pretty much going for like rare, medium rare at
yeah,
the
some of
most
it's probably
anyway,
just raw meat.
So
Yeah.
It's
I mean-
lightly
So-
seared until the color changed.
So what I'm hearing is physical saving throw for botulism.
Maybe. But you're gonna get a lot of nutrients by that sweet vitamin Kel.
I fix it in the freezer. It's fine.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I also bring, Kika pulls out from her stores, because she has, every once in a while, she has extra paychecks
Right.
buy alcohol. This is canon. And she brings out a mango cider that, like, has,
From your daughter's farm.
it was from her wedding, actually. It's been saving.
How long ago was that wedding?
A couple years,
Cider
but it was
heat.
still safe.
Okay.
It's
A
good.
couple tritium years?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a couple soul years. So
Okay.
like
I
point
mean, cider can last for a
one.
couple years.
Well, I can't.
It's alcohol.
I can't think of a better way to go into what may be our final battle than this highly mediocre dinner.
There's also,
And also
I
the
think
possibility of food
On
poisoning.
a comparative scale, this is infinitely better than rations, than Mito Stickos, even than Soylent. Like it is real food.
I mean,
it is a
Soylent is
meal that you are
fine.
eating. Like
Keeps
it's
you
not
alive.
Yeah, it's not gourmet, but it's not gonna kill you. There is something about it, like probably especially as a group that has not consumed like raw based ingredients food in a while. Like everything's processed, everything's purchased. Like this is probably to all of you. There's a certain amount of like decadence or nostalgia in this, that you are eating something that is that was made by people and not packaged.
And also, there's the fact that throughout the entire meal, we have to like bat Kiko's hands away from our plates, and like me and Ziana
I
are
mean-
probably talking about like, I don't know, some kind of like fighting thing, and at some point Conrad and I talk about guns and like.
Thea is there, but like one of her eyes still hasn't flipped
Yeah.
back yet.
Oh,
So like
Eva.
it's really kind of uncomfortable to look at her.
Is she still like kind of in a coma and it's like Weekend at Bernie's?
She's mostly
just
with
sat
it,
her
but
there.
like I don't know if anyone talks about the fact that her eyes.
I think Kika and Thea are trying to
Where's your eye
toss
patch?
things on each other's plates
Yeah,
without
just
others
wear
knowing,
this.
and I have to keep a secret tally of like how many times does Kika put something on Thea's plate, how many times does Thea put something on Kika's plate.
At a certain point, you like try and take something off of my plate, and I like use my telekinesis to put it back on my plate.
At no point does anyone try to take anything.
No.
Off of Sienna's
no.
plate.
Kika doesn't actually like meat as much, so she like is eventually like,
Conrad takes whatever meat.
yeah.
you-
It's
This
hard
is
to
great.
chew. It's like, and like,
My uncle used to undercook meat like this. It's great.
What do you mean undercook?
Was that your
Nothing.
Uncle Mac?
Yeah.
You're a blessing.
The part that I got was great.
Thank you.
And you know what? I actually think that's a really lovely place to end today's episode. Like, that is like really sweet and happy and not like you might die suddenly.
no sirens happen.
There's no sirens, no nothing. You're all there. You all eat together. Like, even Ari is like, there's kind of a peace that settles in this room for a moment as you experience a joy and a togetherness before you all eventually die.
As we zoom towards our inevitable destruction.
You know, everyone dies. This is, you
Yeah.
know, this is the equivalent of the romance interlude in Mass Effect. It's that moment of happiness before everything
Yeah.
falls apart.
Yeah.
Nothing's falling apart.
So that's where we're going to end a little bit early tonight. Tonight's episode of Leviathan. Thank you for being here. I think we had at least one donation that came through. I am reloading page, so make sure this is the one you had to... No, we got a few more episodes before that.
Activate the
There were a couple.
donations.
So first donation that came through is from Pumpkin with 5714.
Whoa.
Just want to contribute to the sticker fund.
Yeah.
Stickers! Lisa Frank stickers
Money.
when I was at home.
Dang.
You found them or you
I
bought
found
them?
them
From when
like,
you in
from
Britain?
like my middle school sticker
Oh,
collection.
wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I have that.
I will
too.
take some Lisa Frank
Yeah.
stickers 100%. We'll get a little piece of poster board. You'll be able to see it in the 360.
I would
mode.
actually like to have up here the Good Acts Award where we can write post-it notes of good acts when we see them.
I
happen.
think that I'll
No.
just write every time I roll boxcars. I'll be like boxcar counter,
I need to know.
nat 20s.
Did you also find a trapper keeper? Do you have a trapper
I
keeper?
didn't have a trapper keeper. No, I found stationery though.
That's awesome though.
I
What
found
about those
stationery.
folders? The Lisa
I'm
Frank
old enough that I
folders.
don't
The-
even
the-
remember
because
if I
the
have a trapper
Trapper
keeper.
keeper.
or
No,
not.
the trapper keepers
No,
had something
you
that you could
had
slide
a belt
things
on
into.
your books that you
Yeah,
when you
when-
run.
When I would
With
walk
your
through the
chalkboard?
snow. up the-
Your
my
chalkboard
slate.
and the belt. Yeah, your slate.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they didn't have
And
chalk
you are
back
not
then.
that much older than I am. We have trapper keepers.
I know, but I don't remember
Next
if I had one or
donation
not.
that came through is from Bulpaz 484 with $10.73 for the miracle of Conrad's vision healing. I like someone had to bring it up.
I'm really glad you did.
It was because no one else was.
He
gonna-
is like, well, we don't need eyes.
I would have ended the
Tika
series
can't
wearing
even
it
see
if
the
I
Oh,
wanted.
wrong.
I know
You're
he
just wearing
was,
a
and he would have
thing on your face.
continuously been complaining about not having depth perception. And finally, Pumpkin with 1428. They are going to end up with gastrointestinal distress mid-battle because of this meal. Excuse me, restroom, be right back. Mrs. Slash as they disengage.
I have the ability to heal like diseases
Also-
and stuff.
yeah,
I'm pretty
also-
sure
You'll be fine.
food poisoning I can also heal.
Yeah.
Also, Ziana definitely has a shortened digestive system, just like cats, because, you know, they're probably predominantly were carnivores.
That's probably true.
And finally, William _TW
fine.
with $10. Thanks for this episode on a holiday. Cute ending. Happy fireworks. Heading to bed after hours of Leviathan note taking. Thank you.
Thank you, William.
Thank you, William.
Thank you, William.
Bye, good night, William.
We are going to wrap up tonight's episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you earlier for the raid that we had too.
That was great.
It was lovely. We are going to be back next week with another episode of Leviathan. Friday we have
We are.
next week. Yes.
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 Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the finale today.
We're ending on this. It's so heavy.
We ended with dinner.
It's cute, but it's like the
And
ending
on
of
an
Lost. What
anticlimax.
happened?
Yes.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
They
were all
Eat, Pray,
dead.
Kill. I know. EPK, Eat, Pray, Kill will be on Friday at 7 p.m. and then the following Monday we will have a loft. So check out all of those shows at the regular times. And otherwise, check out our Patreon in the meantime, our YouTube if you need to catch up on every episode. And let's have our players sign off really fast. Starting with the coffin.
The coffin is right here and it's crafty, but I am Liz Bold.
Who
and you
puts
can find me-
people in
who
coffins.
I put people in coffins,
And dice.
and it was probably more like the ending of Sopranos than of Lost.
Oh, just the darkness?
No.
Oh, I don't remember.
If you saw the end of Sopranos, you know what I mean. But Twitch, Twitter, Lizzie the Bold. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Claudia, but on Twitch and Twitter, I go by Jackie Dash. Jkidash. It's really fun to sit at a table with me because then you get a ding.
It is. I look forward to it.
I could ding from over here.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have to be the same
So could
table.
I, just
We
saying.
can rotate.
saying. Whatever, it's fine.
We'll get
Proximity
competing
is not
bells.
required to ding.
We'll get different sounding bells, and we will
I
compete
want
for
one
the
that
best
is
of.
just like a bell.
I want like a school bell. You know?
gong.
I want a dinner
I
bell.
have, guys, I have
The
a
triangle.
cowbell, but it's
very
What
loud.
are gong?
I don't have a gong.
AJ and I have a cast iron bell that is extremely heavy, made from parts from an actual tank.
Anna,
we can.
let's bring all these instruments in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Emma is like
New
no.
show idea.
Noises by Jackie Dash. Boom, boom, boom,
No,
boom,
here,
boom,
here.
boom.
You play a Kenku in a D&D game. A Kenku who was raised in like Notre Dame or something.
Perfect. Next idea.
Who are you?
Dan Parsons at Dan Parsons.
And I'm Blue Jay. I have lots of good ideas, and you can hear them at twitch.tv/BlueJay or on Twitter at BlueJay_712. I am on lots of role-playing shows at lots of times. You can find them all on bluejay.tv/portfolio. And I'm also doing a Star Trek show right now, which is super rad, so catch it on my channel on Mondays. It's good. It's fun. It's Star Trek.
Cast. Solid cast. And I'm Random Tuesday. You can find me on the internet at Random Tuesday. I have been your GM for this evening. Also, I forgot to say earlier, GeekGirlCon will officially have a president. No, GeekSpaceTV will officially be at GeekGirlCon.
Wait,
So
what?
if you're going to be here, that was our other big news, which we announced on our earlier show. But that's a very exciting news. So take that. Hey, look.
Geek Girl
I don't have my glasses. Just
Right
It says
here in
Geek Girl Con on it.
Seattle.
Wait, I want to see it though.
So if you're going to be at Seattle, that would be a wonderful time. You can come by and see us then. And with that, have a wonderful day-night cycle. If you're celebrating the holiday, enjoy yourselves, stay safe, and we will see you
Your doggos
next
in.
time.
Give them a blanket.
And among other things, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.